The fools of today know nothing of the mysteries of the past. They walk down streets built upon the bones of fallen empires that gave them their technology, their magic, the very blood that courses through their veins. Great empires once ruled all around. The first occurred when man was just a scavenger. They were the Salas, snake men as the ignorant call them today. Their magic was strong, but dark, and connected to the foul Outer Gods. This connection would be their downfall as the Outer Gods charge a steep price for their knowledge. In the end, their dealings brought a cataclysm down upon Ura that nearly destroyed all life. What remained clawed slowly out of the devastation and began to rebuild. As they did, they found the remnants of the Salas. They discovered their cities, science and magic, even some of their experiments. They took the magic as their own, swearing not to abuse it as the reptilians had, as if they could resist the allure of its power. They might have sworn off worship to the Outer Gods, but they were playing with the same fire. They called this the Age of Wonder, and the imbeciles still look back upon it with their stories of fables and romance. True, there was more magic, science, and prosperity than probably more than at any other time before or since. They were as ignorant as the fools today. Their meddling led to the weakening of the weave between the worlds, and through this weakened weave, the Celestians were able to emerge. The Gilded Ones, with their beauty and perfection, soon took control of everything, and then began fighting amongst themselves and using man as their pawns. Eventually, those who fought against them closed the hole between the worlds, cutting them off from the power that made them godlike. Overnight, they went from being gods to merely powerful mortals. Mortals that could be killed. The last of the most recent follies from man was the unenlightened glory of Rozar. The greatest of man's empires, it stretched farther and more significant than any man's nations throughout history. The fools of Rozar believed themselves superior to all, and they pushed against all other races. They thought if they could force them into the worst corners of the world, or even exterminate them, they would have harmony and a perfect world. Little did the Daleks realize that man is his own worst enemy, and the Empire crumbles before even 1,000 years have passed. Now Ura is a fractured land divided up between rival nations, dark magic, and the worshipping of foul gods is once more on the rise as the lessons of the past have all been forgotten. Now these fools will bring down the same calamities as their ancestors. And my fellows and I will watch and laugh. Oh, how we'll laugh.
Totally was totally slipping away.
He's Zach Morris with his big square phone. Just
yeah. Hey, guess what, guys?
We're live.
Yep.
Was someone muted?
Are we unmuted? Yeah.
Yes, we are. Yay. Thank you for reminding me. Hey, everybody.
Providence.
Hi there. Welcome to Tales of a Savage Land. I got to try and use my new microphone to the best of its ability, even though it's still not really all that great. But
the only ASMR actual play.
I can only get so professional in increments. You know what I mean? Just a little bit at a time. Just a tad. A little bit. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Tales of a Savage Land. I am Will DM, the game master for this extraordinary game that we play every Wednesday night. 9 p.m. Eastern time is the start time. Yeah. Gosh, I just, and you can tell age when it creeps into you, because like I had the memory just like evaporate of everything else I was going to say. You're just going to, oh, that's what I was going to say. We play, this is our Savage Worlds Suede Edition role-playing game that we play. So, yeah. And like I said, I already introduced myself, but we're going to go ahead and introduce the cast. And we're going to start with Brian this week. Jonathan.
Hello, my name is Brian. My real name is Jonathan, and I play. Let's see, he's not necessarily a paladin. I think we're aiming at paladin for some reason. I don't know where that came from, but Brian is just.
What do you mean you don't know where that came from?
No way.
I don't know. It's strange to me. Pretty well left field. But to start off with, Brian is just a humble son of a baker. Two
Okay.
bakers, actually.
Now I gotta say, okay, all right. So that brings something up. So you guys all know on Tuesdays we have here on the channel, same time, we have the
Salt
Greyhawk
Marsh.
Adventures, the other group where we do Greyhawk stuff, and currently we're doing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And they are... I love you guys on Tuesday, don't get me wrong. But so like these guys, right, they're in the town and like they start the
Who did they
sheriff,
kill?
the
Who
sheriff
did they
comes up to
murder?
them, and they start flipping shit to the local constabulary, and you know it's the old murder hobo sort of thing. And the first thing that popped into my mind was, I wonder how the Wednesday night group would handle it.
Parallel adventures, well, as parallel as they can be, just to see how we react differently.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty good. It was fun. It's not like they did anything terribly wrong or anything.
Oh,
along
no.
those lines.
And I'm sure people who watch us and think, "Oh, we're too slow or too bored, not a lot of action," whatever. There's the best of both worlds here.
Each
Either on
to
Tuesday
their
or on
own.
Wednesday.
Yes, each to their own.
Each
But
to their own.
and in particular, I was thinking about Brian. And Brian talking to the authorities, and I told him it's like, it's like Brian's buying them baked goods and stuff, and these guys are insulting the intelligence of the sheriff.
Why would you do that? But hey, that came in handy when the Azure Brotherhood started to press in on my bakery, right? So
Right? See, it all worked out. Yeah,
It
man.
was. It pays off to be nice.
It does.
In fairness, the first cops we ran into, we did try
You
to
guys
punch.
did get into a fight. That's true. You guys
We
did.
tried to punch them.
Yeah, well, that's just because Brian wasn't there.
Exactly. Which, as this is the point I was making. Now we're going to circle back around to, Brian's pretty much paladin because he's the moral compass of the group. He's the people that keeps them centered.
I just have these ideals that I'm trying to resurrect in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to revive old characteristics.
I told you, man, you have inspired me in one of my games that I play where I'm actually a player and not doing this stuff.
Hey.
I'm playing a paladin. And
Nice.
And the inspiration for it was Brian.
Well,
So
I appreciate that. I think that means a lot.
there you go. That's the whole reason I was like, man, I just so dig that character portrayal. I was like, I'm going to steal the hell out of that.
Rip it off.
Are the other players annoyed yet?
No.
Well,
Not-
are you
you
guys
should
annoyed?
see the player that I was
No,
playing before this. Oh, I get it. That was a dig on Brian.
Maybe,
Okay, my
maybe
bad.
different than Brian's.
I gotcha. Yeah, well, it's a halfling for one. So there you go. It's traditional D&D stuff. So,
Yeah.
all right. So with that having been said, hey, Ari, since you weren't here, I should have started with you.
I am thoroughly
Great.
shocked you didn't start with me.
I know, because usually I would flip you shit because of that, and I didn't. I feel a little bit bad about myself.
Skate on by with that.
I did.
Well, my name is Grace. I play Ari. She is a sorceress.
Mhm.
And I'd say that's about it that I can come up with right now. Apparently my brain doesn't want to work.
Are you still in vacation mode? What the hell?
Oh, 3,000% I am still in vacation mode.
I was giving her crap because she's obviously brought back some of that sweet ass Idaho bush, and
I don't know why I would go to Idaho for that.
why not? I mean, have you seen Idaho? I mean, it's great, beautiful land. I would expect that the weed that grows out there wild has got to be like huge and stuff.
Maybe, but I'm not.
I don't
Any of us
smoke
know
pot,
about
so I
that.
have no idea about
We do
marijuana.
not support that kind of thing.
What kind of thing?
It's legal here, so I got nothing.
Yeah,
to-
why would I get it from a place that is
Terrible.
when I live somewhere?
Why would you get it at all?
This is true. It's like there you
And-
go. Thank you. See, there's Brian right there in full effect.
No, that's Brian and Jonathan. A little bit in there. We'll get it in there.
And this is Tony smoking some weed so he can deal with both of them.
Yeah,
There
no,
you go.
Stop happening here.
Tony knows where it's at.
That's
This
a-
Christian Minecraft server.
You know what? The squares outnumber you guys here.
Mhm.
I also
Really?
don't smoke weed.
Yeah, I don't smoke weed. I've tried it a handful of times, and every time I did it, because of course everybody is like, "Oh, dude, that's because you haven't smoked the right shit."
Whatever,
Like,
dude.
fine. If here, give me a hit so I can get you off of my back. And the one time it really did something to me that was besides make me tired was make me forget my sentence halfway through. This is before age was encroaching.
That's
and-
why I stopped smoking.
Yeah, and I was like, "What the heck?" You know, it's like one of my favorite things is to talk bullshit, and I was losing that ability. So I was like, I definitely
You just said exactly why you nailed it. That's the exact same reason I stopped doing it.
yeah. I was like, this is
I
not.
was like, man, I can't just be an asshole who doesn't stop talking. I don't like this drug.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly. So,
That's like it sounds like I'm making fun of you, but that's absolutely
no, me and you, simpatico,
Yeah.
buddy. We're on the same
Yeah.
page. So since we're simpatico, we're gonna. It's your turn, man. Go ahead.
All right, I'm Dylan, and if you've been watching the show, yes, I did get rid of the beard for the most part. I left the leftovers, but I play Phoenix on the show, punch stuff, play music, do stuff like that. Yeah.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have Tony.
Hey, kids. I'm Uncle Tony. And if there's no Melendre here, why are we even doing a show?
That's true. What the hell, man?
I'm looking in the
Jonathan,
thing.
get on the phone. What's going on?
Yeah,
Because
better
we're,
call her up.
we're worried is basically what it is.
Oh, okay. It's one of those
Yeah. Yeah.
regular things.
It's a welfare check.
Yeah.
I'm playing Joplin Mayfair, but Will, yeah, I can kick you off with a weird little story that might change your mind a little bit. I thought my story this week was good, that I got a sunburn on my feet because I went out on July 4th. Saturday morning.
Okay, hold on. How the hell do
Wait.
you get a sunburn on your feet and nowhere else? I'm
I
assuming you
have a
didn't get
sunburn
burned.
on my feet.
Yeah, it happened.
What are you, some kind of savage that doesn't wear shoes?
Not
When
in
you're
the
on the
kayak.
lake.
They were
Yeah.
hanging out of the kayak at the
Oh,
end. It never,
okay.
Anyway, but here's what happened. Saturday morning, here in this peaceful little tranquil village in
Uh-oh.
Oregon,
Mhm.
dude got stabbed.
Oh.
Shit.
7 a.m. An old guy who's a regular at the Starbucks is just sitting outside. Another dude comes up to him, stabs him in the neck.
Yo, yeah.
What kind of ride are you taking us
Oh,
on?
Okay. There's
This
got to
is
be
just-
more to this. Continue.
There is. This happened just Saturday morning, and everybody was like shocked. They actually had to close the Starbucks to clean blood off the streets. I mean, shit went down. The guy's not dead, but they caught the other guy who did it. And about Monday night, they were finally showing stuff on the news.
Mhm, mhm.
They put up the picture of the guy who did it, and I was like, shit, that looks like my buddy Cloud.
Uh-oh.
It's not him. But he's a dead ringer for my friend, and they share the same last name, and I'm like, that's his brother.
Oh, so it's your
So-
buddy's brother that's a murderer.
Not yet.
Oh,
The guy's
attempted
not
murderer.
Yeah, he flipped out Saturday morning and stabbed a dude in the neck. And look, Cloud's like me. We're actors, and I know him from shows. He's on my short list to call if I throw a party. I mean, we're pretty close friends.
Right.
I haven't seen him obviously not since Saturday, but
Right?
this is such a small town. I know the guy's brother who
Wow.
stabs a dude.
Oh.
Okay, so your homework
Rick.
is to call your buddy and find out the dirt, because there's got to be dirt. But
there's also
led
Back
up
to
to
the
it?
report
Yeah.
at the beginning of next week's
There's also a decent human being part of me that doesn't hit that button because
Yeah, see, you couldn't be a reporter. They don't care. It could be like their parents. It's like, and so why did you stab the
I-
person in your neck?
I did see our new local reporter shooting something in the on that block because I walk past this spot every day. It's on my way to the office. It's around the corner from our store.
Wow. Okay.
It's
there, but for the grace of God, go I.
Yeah, seriously.
anybody could have been sitting out there. Well, it was 7 a.m. I wasn't going to be out there at 7. But so I saw one of the news reporters, and it half occurred to me like I can't call my buddy, but
They can.
She,
Maybe they already had. You should just poke them for some information.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst thing you want to do is like, oh, so you're the friend of the brother? Do you want to get on?
no, I'm never getting in front of the camera.
You know what the gambit is? You call him and go, man, I was just thinking the other day. I don't know what it was. I just you popped into my head. I wanted to. We're having a part. By the way, what's new with you?
Yeah, exactly.
And if he doesn't tell you,
Look,
then you'd be like,
this is a small town. When somebody stabs somebody in the neck, everybody knows about it. This isn't a secret.
that old chestnut of a saying when
Ah, yes.
someone stabs someone in the neck in this town.
Yeah, it goes around pretty quick.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Lincoln that said that at
Yeah.
first?
I think it was. It was either
think
him or
so.
Thomas Jefferson.
You mean the creator of the Lincoln Law?
It was
right?
Thomas Jefferson right
There you
before
go.
the Battle of JFK.
Waterloo, I believe.
No, not where they took the airport.
Yes, the Battle of JFK and LaGuardia.
Yeah.
LaGuardia.
the Battle of Die Hard 2.
So, Will, you don't need to be coming out here.
Why? Because of that? Oh, please. Do you know how many shootings were in Denver just yesterday? I don't need to. Come on, man.
We don't get that shit
We got
here.
legal weed out here. You think it would mellow people a little bit? No, it's not.
My town literally has a weed factory in it. So
There you go. See, you don't even have to. You just go hang out around the factory, and you're like, hey.
we also have a nuclear factory, but
Yeah.
we don't call it a factory.
Well, that's why I'm not going
nuclear
there.
power.
The superhero that's going to come out of your town is going to be awesome.
No, sir.
No, you know what it is? He'll have all the power in the world to do whatever he needs to save the day, but he'll have zero motivation to do
Yeah, he'll
it.
just sit home eating pizza.
It's like I should really go do something about that.
This is my super digestion at work.
Hey, I'll get right on it.
Melted by gamma rays and
Yes.
bit by a radioactive stoner.
Exactly. Well, I guess we've talked enough.
Yeah, enough
Let's.
bullshit.
I guess we're here to actually play a game. We should probably.
Yeah, nobody's showed up yet.
It's fun too, whatever.
There's a couple of people. You know.
I am one of our 5 viewers.
Oh well. Okay, so there's 4 people.
I am also another one.
So basically, we're just entertaining ourselves. So that's all good. It's not that bad.
I think we level up already, right? Social interaction.
Yeah. Bling. All right, so let's go ahead and since
What we get for taking a week off.
yeah, exactly. That's true because we haven't seen each other in a week, so we gotta get our visit in. Is basically what it is. It looks like we just got hosted by Lord Gasumba though. Jay,
Hey.
if I don't say it, if you can't hear me, you go. Well, I'll tell you next time I talk to you. You're the man, Jay. I want to be you when I grow up.
We appreciate you.
Now, dog.
Excellent. So, okay, there he is. Hey, how's it going, man? How's it going, Jay? He just popped up in chat. So, since Ari was not here the last time, I would love to see. Look at that! You're such a great man. Why don't you guys tell Ari what happened while she was, because she was locked away in the Arcanus library, diligently researching while you guys were I don't know what you were doing. Why don't you tell me?
I have no idea how you don't go back and watch at least this episode.
Oh, I watch all the episodes.
No, I'm talking to Ari. We were
I
talking.
did watch this episode.
Okay,
I
good.
did- Grace knows, but Ari definitely doesn't.
So what we can do then is, so Ari, what happened in the last episode? You can do the recap. There you go.
Well, are we doing Ari or are we doing Grace? Because Ari will say it a lot different than Grace will.
I don't know. Which do you guys prefer, Grace or Ari?
Well,
We do it Ari. Yeah,
let's
that'll
do
be
it
easy.
Ari. Yeah,
Let's do
let's
it Ari.
let's have
Yeah.
Ari do the recap because I'm more interested in that.
So they went one place, talked, and maybe had a plan. Went to the next place and then talked some more and talked and then came up with a kind of another plan. And then went to RuPaul and
I'm still very happy about it.
kind of have a plan.
That was
So-
surprisingly accurate.
There's that. Yeah, it is surprisingly accurate. So basically, what happened is that I guess there was, aside really the really important things that happened were that one, Phoenix got some really sweet weighted gauntlets to allow him to punchy punch in his in combat and still be effective.
At least against the armored people we're sure to come into combat
Correct. Yes, exactly. And then basically what happened then after that was you guys went and you met with Ogret. And you were explaining to him your plan where you're trying to do something with the Brotherhood, trying to get that monkey off your guys' back. And then the next thing you were going to do is you're like, hey, you know, it'd be a great idea. Go to the arena and let's do a gladiatorial thing. And yeah. And then that'll do
That'll
it.
somehow
And everybody was in, yay, agreed with that. Then you went to, Ogret actually gave you guys a piece of paper for an introduction to one of the promoters, because the arena has promoters. And Rob Baca is Rob Baca is the fella's name, and as Phoenix was saying, he's a tall, slender, very athletically built black man that has he's got makeup on his face. He is like a RuPaul in his appearance, and very elegant, very well dressed, and what have you. And they met along with Raul Baca, Zelt, which is the name of one of the gladiators, was there. And then they struck a deal, and Phoenix had to give a little exhibition fight so that Rabaka knew that he wasn't a slouch. And he thoroughly beat down this Gulkin dude.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, totally beat his ass. Real. And Rob Baca was impressed. He was like, excellent. We can work with this. And so Rob Baca sent you guys away, said that he had some planning to do to get everything ready and together, and you were to come back the next day. And so you guys had left, and we're going to go about your business. You were going to go to back to meet up with Ari, correct? Well, the
I don't think so.
No, the Ekitars. One of the Ekitars met them. And slipped them a note with their list. So what we'll pick up with here is you guys, the gentlemen, making their way back to where you going. What are you doing there? Hey, Malin Ray, there she is. What's happening? We were worried. So where are you guys going then?
I think going back to see how Ari
we gotta
found is a pretty good idea.
Tell her about our plan.
And find out what she discovered, because we had sent her off on a mission.
That's
Very
right.
important mission. Absolutely.
Research and discovery.
Okay, so basically, what exactly was Ari going to be looking for? Because you've already gone and done research once, but there's a ton of material for you to dig into to find out more about. So what exactly is Ari trying to dig up this time?
So despite the fact that they sent that guy to tell me to focus on Azael to figure out what he was doing last time, I would have been focused on looking up Zafrish and how he came about, and I'd assume Azael would be right there. There'd be a lot of kind of overlapping information.
There is a lot of overlap. Exactly. Okay, so what type of information about Zafrish are you trying to dig up? Because you already know about his island,
right?
That he was basically a Celestine that was in this particular area, and he ruled from this mega island, which Zada was a part of, and I guess the island of Castra was actually at one time connected. It was all part of one big island, and then due to magics or whatever in past history is Nomas connected. So you know that much of it. So what are you trying to figure out now in this time?
I guess it would be, because that was mostly just like his life. I would say where he came from, his origin, and looking into more of how I can assist him this time around.
Okay. All right. So we will dig a little more then. What's your first roll? Give me one of those beautiful research rolls.
Oh. Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry, ignore that.
Just a 4.
A 4 and a 2. Ugh.
Yeah,
You sure you don't want to spend a penny on that?
Not too early.
I mean, it is a success. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you're going to get some information because you got a success there.
Well, am I going to get more information because of my connection with him?
That depends on if you spend this Benny and do
right.
another roll.
I'm spending 1 Benny.
Okay.
Woo!
And I have rolled a 5.
You got a 4 and a 5 this time. Excellent. Okay, so this is what you find out. Okay. What you're going to find out is basically some more about the general information when it comes to the Celestines. The Celestines are from another dimension. Okay? They were able to cross over into the world of Ura here through thinning or weak parts in the weave that they were able to break through and come into this dimension.
Can I know what was causing the breaks in the weaves?
The weave itself goes through cycles, and there's different cycles where the weave fluctuates, and so it just happens. And actually, if you remember, too, when you guys were in talking with the Grand Masters, right? Those 3 dudes, they said that currently the world is currently in a time period where the weave is in flux again like that and is weak in points, which would possibly allow the Celestines to come back. Right. And they were very concerned about this.
Right, and especially after we mentioned Azael.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so and like I said, very concerned about that sort of thing. All right. So you also know that the Celestines, they have, Ur is not the only land that they've gone to. Okay. And their power, however, is derived from their dimension. So long as they are, what they had done in the past was when they were able to breach the weave, breach the gap, then they used their magics to widen and to hold open those entry points. And because those entry points were allowed to be held open, even as the weave fluctuated again, and would possibly those weaknesses would have corrected themselves, and they would have been cut off, but it retained that opening, and it thusly retained their link to this power that made them nigh divine, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and that's what happened in the ancient times, and what they were able to do and defeat them is the people figured out and closed those entry things that they had, which severely depleted their powers and made them able to be defeated.
Right.
So.
Now, when you're saying that they held open something, was it like a physical thing, or was it like just some sort of like gateway?
It did have physical manifestations on this plane, and that's what your medallion is.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, it's a map to locations of these different things.
Okay.
So now, How accurate it is or anything, I guess you won't know until you actually
Find a Zale.
or go to those places.
Well, I suppose, but
Yeah, that would mean travel and
yeah.
Who wants to do all that? That's just terrible stuff there. Terrible, absolutely terrible. So that is what you had learned more about them. You also had learned that they are susceptible to cold iron.
Okay.
While being extremely powerful magical beings, much like how in our traditions here that say like the Fae are susceptible to that sort of thing, so are the Celestines. They are susceptible to that, even when they were super powerful.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And then, I mean, I know that that Zaphris ruled from. Did you say Zada or Castra?
Castra is
Okay,
actually,
that's what I had written down.
But Castra was part of Castra and Zada were actually the same.
We're the same, but it was the area that Castra is.
Correct. That's where the capital, and that's where Zaphris ruled from.
And was Azale there with him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As well as a number of other people. And so what we're going to say is we're going to actually pick up. And, well, let me finish. Is there anything else that you want to learn in particular?
No, because I mean, I have the assumption that Azale was sent here to find one of the openings. So I need to find him and or an opening, and we're good.
Okay. So, and basically, are you going to take the medallion that you have that you guys were retrieved out of Castra and pinpoint those places?
I mean, I guess I could try, right? But like you were saying, I can try.
Okay, so with that, I want you to give me another specific research roll.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Just give me another roll, and this is going to be for how well you're able to pinpoint off of this ancient medallion into modern times. You have vague impressions of where they're at.
God damn it.
And they're kind of scattered. They're in different places around Ura. It's not like all of them are on Zada or anything along these lines.
I mean, is there one that's near Castra?
There is one that's... Oh, wow. I think I'm going to have to pull up an actual map here. Woohoo! I do have those. Okay, so I will... Let's go to... There it is. And then let's bring over this so you guys can see. And then I will have to make it so that the lovely viewers at home can see as well. Okay. And... Okay. Oops, that's the wrong one. I don't want that. I want this. I hate all this stuff being on the same... Okay, so now we're going to go over to the map here. So, you guys see that there? Everything okay? You see the Mavi? You see Zada right there?
Oh, no, yeah.
Okay, so the first... the closest gate that you guys can see is right here. It's in the middle of the Vezin Desert. Right there. Is the pinging coming off? You know,
yes,
I need that, but I need to move it up a little bit so that those at home can see it. Yes, right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So essentially, where it even says the Vezin Desert. Okay.
Okay.
And this is and I don't know because you guys have seen this before, right? I've shown this to you. This is wow. Yeah. Look, there's still the old tokens up there.
Yeah, we're on the map.
Yeah. But that's the Mavi Sea, and then this is the lands that are around it right there. So, as you can see, the Mavi Sea kind of cuts off the west from the east, and what have you. So there's your closest one, right there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So is that it then? Anything else, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. So you're there and you're in the library and you're studying, right? You got all these books laid out on a table. Pretty much everybody here has learned to keep away from that one. She's a little moody, might bite your head off if you come over and bother her. And as you're studying, this man, very nondescript. It's hard to really place his ethnicity or anything along these lines. You can't put a thumb on it. He's medium build, average features, nothing spectacular about him. He is dressed in a white some white robes with the gold trim, and on the robes it does have the 3 stars of the Arcanist. And he comes over and he sits down across from you, and he's like, "So, my dear, what have you found?"
Why do you give a shit?
"Oh, you probably don't recognize me. Hold on a moment." And he takes his hood, and as he draws his hood up and over his head, the image of his face shifts, changes, and as it fully encompasses it, and the shadow of the hood completely envelops his features all change, and they're blue. And his features are the features of Azael. Then he pulls the hood back, and as he pulls the hood back and the light from the interior of the library lands across his face, and where it lands on his face, it changes once more to that very average looking man's face once more. Then,
So, I mean, immediately my body language would change. I would sit back a little more, being a little more open to conversation as opposed to being pretty shut down, shut off. And I say, "Well, I'm looking for you."
well, here I am. So, what have you found? What are you looking for?
Nothing really of much value. These books, they all just are talking about generalizations. I need specifics, and they're just not in here.
Oh,
I
that's a
need
shame.
to find.
Where's the medallion?
I have it.
Is it on you currently? Can I see it?
Well, I mean, yeah, it might be out on the table, frankly, because I was looking at it.
You tell me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you brought it with you when you were doing
Yeah.
this research.
Yeah, it's on the table, kind of pretty close. It was under my elbow, kind of.
Maybe under some papers or something like that, and then
Yeah.
you move the papers away and it's there.
Right, yeah.
And give me a notice roll.
This is impossible, of course. The medallion's back in my bag in the room.
Of course, of course. I thought that bag was completely burned away. I mean,
Or whatever. I thought whatever. I must have scooped it up.
yeah. Okay, so go ahead and give me that notice roll.
I'm worried. My rolls have not been very good. Okay.
Hoping. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so you got a raise. With what little experience you've had of dealing with the Celestines up to this point, they're very cool in their demeanors. You know, they don't seem to be really, like worried about pretty much anything, right? And his eyes kind of like flare open for the briefest of seconds. He's all like, and he goes, he starts to reach for it.
I don't really let him. I say, please don't touch it. I'm very protective.
Oh, that sounds like we need a roll. Okay, so you know what? That's what I need to do. Okay. And what we're going to do is, I guess it would be basically I need to really pull up Ryland's so I can have a character sheet just to look at. about.
I would assume it's like agility or something.
That's the term I was looking for. It is agility, unless you had some sort of other type of ability to impose with it and what have you. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So how many bennies do you have left? I haven't even rolled yet. I'm just saying. Here, let me roll. Oh, look at that. You know what? He got a 12 on his 12, so that means he gets to roll again and add it to it. So altogether, 17. He got a 22.
Yeah. So it'd be one of those things where I'm like, oh, please don't. And
and it's like it's already in his hands, and he's all like, yes. And he takes it and he just puts it into the folds of his robe that he's wearing. So, and he seems like he's a little bit put off for a second. It takes him a brief moment to compose himself. And so you went and you saw Zafrish, I'm assuming, when you went to Castra, yes?
And then at the sound of his name, my cheeks kind of get pinker and get a little bit flustered and say, yeah, I did see him. I had a couple encounters with him. Oh. I want him here.
Encounters? Ah, yes. You've been touched by him, I see. Ooh. Yes. Are you going to be able to fight that? Do you need my help? You do know what's going to happen to you, don't you?
I don't know. I just know that I want him here with me.
Oh, would you like me to tell you what's going to happen to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, if what I think has happened, you're going to try everything you can do to bring your lover here to Ura and help him in any way you can to reestablish his once great empire. And he's going to take you, and he's going to make you one of his mortal wives, and he will impregnate you, and you will bear one of his children. You do know what happens to mortals when they bear a Celestine's child, correct?
I don't care. I want that for me.
It's death, my dear.
I'm not afraid of it. Not for him.
Now, if you want, and this is completely up to you because you're totally into character. Oh, Melinra! Yay! You can attempt a spirit roll at this point in time if you choose to try and fight against some of those feelings. Or you can just roll with it as you are. Your choice.
I just can't get a read on whether or not he's going to let me help him, or if I can't get a read on him, so I'm having issues. So I would probably...
Because he basically just told you that if you get together with Zafrish, you're going to die, is basically what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, remember when you saw me being birthed? Do you remember that? How I crawled out of that poor man. Do you remember that?
I do.
Something very similar will happen to you, although unlike where I was a full-grown Celestine when this happened, they will still be a Celestine child when they crawl out of you. They're not birthed in the normal way, and it will take all of your essence. That's how it will sustain itself.
Yeah, so at that, I'm kind of adding up that Zafrish didn't tell me that.
He sure didn't.
Right. So he made it seem like as Azrael's going into specifics, I'm kind of realizing that Zafrish wasn't completely as straightforward as I thought he was with me. Mm-hmm. So I'll go ahead and try, but knowing my rolls. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
Okay, yeah, you're still enthralled. You know what it is. You think that Azale is lying to you, is what you think.
You have one more Benny, don't you?
She sure does.
The third of the night. It's only been 15 minutes, but who cares?
Right? Sometimes they're just worth spending.
Mm. Don't tempt me.
So no, you're gonna.
Okay, fine. I'll use it. Okay, I'll
Let's see
use
what
it.
you get. Let's see what you get.
I'm gonna burn through a bunch later on.
There
just
you go.
for
Okay,
special effects.
you are able to because you succeeded. You got the that's a double, right? That's a double.
It's a raise, but it was with my wild die, so it's just
Yeah, it's a raise. It's a raise. So you are able to fight off this urge, this deep, just longing desire you have for this creature, enough for clearer thought.
Are you saying that you don't want him here? You don't want him to...
Well, of course not. I shall become the next king, not Zavrish. Why would I want any of the other Celestines to come here? That would be... I have it all to myself now. And now that I have the medallion, I can ensure that those portals are not fully functional, but just functional enough so that they can empower me.
How
You do
can
notice, and he looks around the library. He goes, I sit in the midst of the most powerful organization this world has to offer, and they don't even know that I'm here. You know, you could work for me. I won't lie to you. I won't impregnate you either. You have a connection to the weave that is unique, especially for a world like this. I wouldn't even be surprised if you do have Celestian blood in you, to a degree, which gives you the connection. You're much too valuable of a resource to be wasted. Something to think about.
What would you want me? What would you need me for?
Well, I'm building my army. And what better to add to that army than someone who is part of this world's most powerful weapon that might be used against me? You could inform me of any of their intentions and let me know the things that they're intending to do. I'm assuming they're having your lot look for me even currently.
I don't want to be another person in an army.
Oh, you would be much more important than just a person. You would be, how would I say it, one of my advisors. My right-hand woman, so to speak. I have yet to meet anybody that has the potential of you, and under my guidance you could become very strong indeed.
I do declare. Oh, how we divide our loyalties. It's a good goddamn thing I am not there.
Tonio, the vapor's starting to overcome you. I won't rush you into this decision. I have what I came here for. And for that I thank you. Very much, Hari. And if you want to sever this connection with Zavrish, and he reaches into his robes and he pulls out a very small vial. It's only about yay big. Blue liquid in it. And he just sets it on the table. Drink that, and it will sever your ties with him. But be warned, when you drink it, you will be ill for a little while. It will be excruciating.
Will he know?
Of course he'll know. My dear Ari, he even knows now. You have a connection to him. He doesn't know the specifics, but he knows that there's doubt in you. He knows that you're wavering. He can feel that connection. When given the opportunity, he will attempt to redouble it. Now, if you're aspirations in this world is to be the mother of the next conqueror's son or daughter, well, continue on your path. But I will probably kill you before that time comes. Just so you know. I have no intentions of letting Zephrys or any other Celestine walk on Ura ever again.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I am.
Take your time. I will come and find you again sometime soon.
I look forward to that.
And I look forward to it as well, my dear.
I grab the vial that he put on the
Okay.
table and kind of put it in my pocket.
Okay, he walks away. And just leaves. Nobody even seems to really notice that he came in and he sat down with you. Like most of the people that are in the library and whatnot, because you still get some people who like look over every once in a while. For one, you're a special new induction. You're a different type of novice than normally joins the Arcanus. Because for one, when people join the Arcanus and pass their tests, they don't meet the Grand Masters. Most people in the Arcanus never meet the Grand Masters.
Yeah.
And it's known that you guys did. And there's some kind of, they're the special children. You know. So you got that going on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to say now is, unless you three fine gentlemen had anything that you were doing while you were coming back to the Arcanus, you are in the Arcanus. And you know that Ari was going to be doing research in the library. So I will leave it up to you. Are you gentlemen going to go straight there?
I think that's. I mean, we have to catch her up on what happened. So I think we,
Totally.
unless someone else has a place to stop along the way.
That was the plan. That was the
Excellent.
plan.
So this is what happens. You guys are coming into the Arcanus library, right? And Ari, you're sitting at your table with all the books and papers spread out all over it, and you're watching Azael walk away. And you watch as Azael walks past your three friends, and they pass right past each other in the porthole, the doorway going in and out of the library. And then they come over, and they're at the table. Take it away.
Ari, hey.
Hi. Sorry.
Are you all right?
No. Azael was just here.
Isaiah,
What?
I'm gonna look around.
What do you mean
Here?
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 I think we need to go somewhere private.
Are we in danger right now? Everybody, you sure he was here? Because
He took
everybody
one.
is normal, right? Everybody's acting normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a library. You know, there's people looking up at you guys, and even though you haven't got loud yet, you can see in their eyes, like, fucking be quiet.
Which makes it suspicious. Like Azael, the winged blue Celestine, he was here.
He took what he wanted from me and left. We need to go somewhere private.
He took some. Wait, when did this happen?
I
You
think-
literally walked past him.
That fucking guy.
Mhm.
And you guys remember when you were coming in, there was just some real nondescript, like, robed Arcanus
What?
person walked right by you.
We only walked by a few librarians. We didn't see any Celestine. What are you talking about?
He changed his appearance. I didn't.
Fuck.
I don't even know where to begin. He
Well-
sat down.
Tell us the story. What happened?
Wait,
Well-
let's go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah,
That
that probably that's good too.
Our to our quarters then, and I'm gonna suggest we head to our
Yeah.
quarters unless it's
Oh, and yeah.
urgent.
No,
That's
we need.
So you
Need
guys are
walls.
going to go to your quarters inside the citadel of the Arcanus to have this talk.
Yes, we are. Because to walk all the way outside to have a talk
Okay.
seems too long to wait.
Well,
Yeah.
certainly we get some
Just making
privacy.
sure. Okay, so you guys can go. Whose room are you guys going to?
I would say, and not mine.
Oh, you're muted.
Apologies. We can always go to mine. You know, I'm always welcoming to my establishments.
It's
Take my
probably a
room.
good idea. Mine's kind of Spartan.
I'll wait for Brian to offer.
Yeah.
Of course. I assume. I mean, I think that's where either we met in the main area, the common area, or I'll just lead you all to my room because it's more cloistered, so to speak. And so to shut the door behind me. All right, Ari. What happened in there?
So I know there's a cantrip called Whisper. Can I use it on a group of people at once? I completely forgot about it.
And whisper to each other.
Yes, and this is what will happen is like you can go ahead. Does it say essentially you can whisper to one person? It's like message, correct?
I think that's the idea behind it. Let me look at it again. Sorry. This cantrip allows the caster to pass a message of up to 10 words to a target within range.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was imagining the cones of silence from Get Smart.
Oh, that would be so much better. You can, and here's the thing, and this is what I encourage with the magic and what have you, is that if you guys want to broaden out, change, or do different things with it, you're more than welcome to try, and we'll just bang it out and see how it works. So, you know that you could communicate with more than one person with that, except basically what it would mean is that you would have to spend an extra round per person in the casting.
Okay.
So you're talking about an extremely long, drawn-out conversation. They don't get to respond to you, though, correct?
Right. I mean, yeah, it's just
so it'd
me.
be basically you just giving them the information. I mean,
so
you
yeah,
guys could go in and turn on the faucets. I mean...
I just don't trust what you said at all.
I'll go back to my room and grab my violin, like my fiddle.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna play like I'm warming up, just noise.
Phoenix, what are you doing? She's about to tell us that.
He's playing chopsticks.
I'm just adding to the
Oh,
ambiance to try.
ambiance. I understand.
So I'll talk as low as possible, and I'll basically fill them in with what happened. Say, I was researching how they came into this world, who Azael was, like you had asked me to, and he comes up. I thought it was someone random that didn't have any sort of a special look about him, but then he lowered his hood, brought his hood up. I'm not even sure now. And he turned blue.
It was sort of like the reverse. You know how somebody would take
Right.
their hood and raise it to hide themselves?
Right.
When he brought his hood up, it showed you his true face. When he pulled the hood back, the whatever he's got going on that makes him look different.
I just
Right. It
imagine
was
the.
more or less just me being overwhelmed with the situation. So I just am not clear with the memory of that. I had out a map of where the ports could be, and he took it. He took the map from me. I don't know where these portals could be for the Celestines, but
Do
he
you
does.
remember where some of them were? Was there any nearby?
I know where one is. It's to the west in the middle of the desert.
I'm sorry. What are we talking about right now? Portals?
They're getting in through the weave, the flux in the weave. And these portals are the main points of entry for the Celestines. He told me that he is looking to destroy these portals, to make them too weak for someone else to come through, but strong enough to keep him alive.
Well, that's actually good news, I think.
I think that part could be good news, but I don't know. I don't know where he lies. Arcanus wants him.
Well, I think Joplin's right. If he's trying to close the portals, I think fighting one Celestine is better than a whole war party or a whole race of Celestines pouring in.
Yeah, seems logical, I guess.
Particularly, it seems like he's trying to keep out the Celestines that are more powerful than himself.
Mhm.
Correct.
And-
One most notable, Zafrish. He does not want
And
Zafrish.
I'm sorry. You said he needs to keep them just a little bit open, or he dies.
He becomes weaker. He doesn't die.
That's good. That's good. Wow, you
He's going to
really.
do our work for us, really. I mean, all we have to do is close him the rest of the way and cut his head off.
It's odd that he's acting against Zafrish's wishes.
And I, from what I know of Zafrish, I don't understand why he would be.
What do you know of Zafrish? Now that you bring it up.
He's so hot.
Like, oh my god, he
There
is
you go, girl.
so hot.
Weird, but
Are you blushing, you naughty girl?
She does get You guys can
Yeah.
can see it when
That's
she talks
weird.
about Zafrish. She like gets flustered.
He has visited me a couple of times. He has given me certain promises, shown me certain things, made me feel certain things.
did you hear?
Not here, no.
You meet him somewhere else, outside of the academy or inside of the
It was
Arcanus?
it was on Castra. He came to me that night that I'm assuming we all had a dream. The night that Joplin burst into flames.
Okay.
He promised me that he would make me his queen, and
And how do you respond to that?
Wow, 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 wow.
essentially.
What's
That's what,
strange space music?
I believe it was brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, brown chicken, brown cow.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means.
Kind of had a wah wah kind of sound to it.
Am I the only one that's? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand these. Is this in the book you gave me, Jonathan?
Yes,
So
in parts.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm working on it.
Good stuff.
yes. We had an encounter, a romantic encounter. He
Oh, I understand that one. Yeah.
I fucking love Brian. You're my boy.
Oh shit, that was funny.
and he promised to make me his queen, and that's all I want.
I'm sorry. We're trying to stop the Celestines, and you're telling us that you actually want to rule alongside the Celestines?
Well, don't judge too harshly now, there, Brian.
I'm sorry. Just make sure we're on the same team here. Like, what's our goal? You are with us, right, Ari?
How when were we told that Zafrish was bad?
When he told us he wanted to enslave us.
Well, you've never really. I mean, let's put it this way: you've all been told. It is all common knowledge. The Celestines are bad. They're evil people. They're in the guise of, something angelic, but they're not. They.
Oh, but consider the sources.
They
We're all
enslave.
mortal on this.
That's true. All that information that you guys have had has.
There's
all
a bias.
Yes, and you are right. History is written by by the victors, right? So, according to everything that you guys know or heard, the Celestines are bad. They're bad people. Now, you have had, interactions with two of them, with Zafrish and Azael. And Zafrish, you had an interaction with him in a dream state.
Mm-hmm.
Azael's the only one that you guys have,
Physically
had contact or been in the presence of. And Azael's the guy who climbed out of another dude's body.
He blew up a guy. But he purpled up a guy, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you can take that information for how, for what it is. Now,
Just don't
also,
judge too harshly.
I will say this much: the Grand Masters did say that it was it was pretty imperative and quite dangerous if the Celestines were going to be coming back or trying to. They were very concerned about that.
I suppose that's fair.
Yeah.
Look, I have agreed to become Pearden's champion. We all say things that, you know.
Well, Puritan is the god of sunlight. Is that right, Joplin?
You're a champion? Sorry, this is news to me. I don't.
No, you know, in those dreams when we, like Ari, when we have communed, mine are a little less orgasmic experience.
I didn't have a dream.
Okay.
Well,
that's strange.
but I'm just saying we've said things and we've promised things, and often the choice was not really a choice. It was, you know, be my champion or die. So you can understand where I would say, sure,
Quite the ultimatum.
sounds good.
This is no judgment. I don't care who you're a champion for.
And neither
ready
should
for
we judge Ari for her relationship with Zafrish.
No judgment. I'm just concerned.
Azale told me things that didn't line up with what Zafrish told me. I don't feel as comfortable with Zafrish as I once did.
What did he tell you?
Well, he told me about how once I bring a child to full term, what will happen to me. Once I bring his child to full term.
Which is...
Oh my!
Going to kill you?
Hey, you purple. It's purple goo, isn't it?
Yes.
They purple goo you.
does that mean one of those things, fuck that guy?
I guess. I didn't ask specifics.
I'm sorry.
Is that what that means?
It must. I don't know another way it could happen. This is the information I have.
So that way we just have to assume. We should
Yeah.
probably tell the pirates.
Oh no!
I think they'd like to know how their friend went out.
As a butt pirate,
Oh, bad pun. Bad pun.
it was low hanging fruit. I had to grab it.
I can tell you that it's the best you will encounter. So it wasn't a low point in that man's life whatsoever.
Will.
Well, okay, so moving on to the next point.
Do declare.
Oh yeah, probably a good time to mention what I guess our plans might have just...
Oh yeah. By the way, we're gonna go fight in the arena for outrageous amounts of coin.
Who the fuck is gonna do that?
Unfortunately, not all of us, but I believe that Phoenix has proven his worth quite thoroughly.
There is logic to it. I just have to trace it back a little bit.
Well, essentially, there's only one way to deal with the Azure Brotherhood, and I believe that's just straightforward. Unfortunately, we cannot issue a formal duel as conflicts with the Arcanus and the Azure Brotherhood isn't in everyone's best interest. So we instead want to put forth a public challenge, but the Arcanus doesn't want all of us since they've invested so much in our Warlock development. So they've decreed that only one of us may participate in this open challenge, and hopefully the Azure Brotherhood will have things whispered in their ears by the Ekitars that to accept this public challenge, and we can sort things out in the gladiatorial arena.
Why do we care about the Azure Brotherhood?
Because they showed up at the bakery.
Sounds like we might be spending some time on the water soon too. If the nearest portal to one of these places is in the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Now, can you reconstruct that map? What was it like? Where did you find it? Was it in one of the books? Is there another one?
As far as I know, there's not another one.
Hmm.
He took the only copy.
How many portals are we going to have to, follow or trace or close? I'm still not sure what we're doing here.
We just need to tell the Arcanist where Azael is. I believe.
Do we know?
I mean, he's headed to these portals. They might know where these could be.
Well, that's still more than what we had. Thank you.
Well, now I feel foolish for thinking we might be able to draw Azael out by being pretend Azael in the middle of.
That would have been the second bird with that one stone. We still.
He can still solve our other problem, and hey, maybe doing this will provoke him. At the very least, he'll hear about it. I'm sure he's got his ear to the ground.
Mind you, what the Arcanist has told us so far, they said to expect the unexpected. As far as I'm concerned, we may be visited by something that is not Azael, and we didn't even know was already here.
Strange things have been happening, Joplin.
They will find us. That's what they said. They didn't say Azael would find us. They said strange things would find us.
Yeah.
Had the blue skin. That's all I know.
Speaking of which, we need to find some blue paint.
Yeah, we're going to dye him up blue. Half Celestian, half man. I'm going to get out my shiny jacket and I'm going to do your introduction.
You could help us match the color. You just saw him, got it fresh in your memory. Try and remember the hue.
Yeah, Ron Bacchus said that he would take care of the dye for Phoenix. But you guys can still do it if you want. That's totally fine.
All right. So when is this supposed to take place?
That was my question.
I don't think, did he name the day of the...
No, you guys are supposed to go back tomorrow.
Right.
And when you go back tomorrow, he said that he should have some things arranged.
Right. Now, should we tell someone about your encounter, or do we want to keep that close to the chest? I've been playing fiddle this whole time, by the way.
I don't know. I'm so just...
Joplin, what do you think?
Let's tell someone about this encounter and how Ari was deceived on these grounds, and perhaps they have a way that you can help us not be deceived in the future.
True.
Yeah. Now we also should probably tell them about, leave it up to you, Ari. I don't want to pressure you, but you should probably tell them about the influence that Zafrish has over you.
I'm beginning to doubt him. Azael told me that Zafrish will be able to feel my doubt in him.
So he's got some sort of connection. Like he was in the past when we saw him. How can he?
I don't know. It doesn't. He's great. He's all powerful.
Yes, he is.
We're gonna have to find a way to stop whatever that was that happened, because I liked you better when you didn't say nice things about people.
I think it's a turn for the better, Phoenix.
Oh, I don't know.
Talking about a demon.
And all powerful kind of gave me the heebie-jeebie chills.
Well.
All right. Well. And break. No, I'm just kidding. What are we doing?
What do we want to tell? Do we want to tell Ogret? Do we want to try to get audience with someone higher?
I think we should stick with Ogret for now. I mean, he's been pretty good to us so far, and I feel like the other guys are maybe they know our value, but I don't know that they trust us yet. And I feel like Ogret at least believes that we are able to do what we say we're able to do. At the very least, he's just given us the opportunity to fight in the middle of an arena, which is pretty stupid. So,
yeah. I don't know if I trust myself right now.
Let's talk to Ogret then. I agree.
Tell him about the encounter. Don't volunteer any more than that, because you have things you need to work out for yourself.
Yeah. And as he says that, I'll touch the little vial, like a little cheesy, and just be thinking about drinking it.
Hey, what's in your pocket? No, I'm just
at the same time, you're all like, Zafrish wouldn't lie to me. That was Hazael. Hazael was lying. He must have been. This is probably poison. He wanted to kill me. He doesn't want me and my love to be together.
Basically, all that internal dialogue.
Yes. All right, so what are you guys going to do? You guys going to go and
We're
try
going to Ogret to talk to him.
Okay, so you're going to set up an audience with Ogret. Okay, cool. You guys go and what's our boy's name?
That's one I couldn't remember.
Nezzy. Yeah, Nezzy.
I'm stopping by our page boy. This time I want a tray of vegetables.
That's
Just
Nezzy.
Vegetables. Yes.
Nezzy's the guy that you talked to last time. A tray of vegetables, really?
Yes,
Okay.
sliced vegetables. He can't have cakes every time. He's just putting on the pounds.
But
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
have
so
a donut.
nice. You guys are looking out for Ogret's health and well-being.
I want to be different than the Tuesday night.
We should make ants on a log. That's when you take little celery boats, put peanut butter, and put raisins on them.
raisins
There
on.
you go. There you
Ants on a
go.
log.
They may be pretty advanced, but they haven't figured out how to butter peanuts yet. So
Oh
you
no,
think
they've
so?
got roasted peanuts and stuff
Just
here, man. Yeah, I do. Okay, so you guys all start leaving the room, right? And because it was Brian's room, he's kind of like the last one out, so he's going to close the door. And as everybody leaves out of the room, Brian, and before you close the door, you get dizzy for a second, and then there's like flash and a flash and another flash in your eyes, and
nice.
and then like the flashing stops for a second, and your nostrils are assaulted with the acrid smell of burn and decay and flesh. And you look around you, and it's the city that you guys were on, Castra, again. You remember the vision that you had before, and this time it's the same person. It's you again, because you look around and you look down and you're dressed in that bronze armor, and the city is alight and burning all around you. And it's you, but it's not as if you're in control. It's like you're on autopilot, and you watch as this person is walking down the street, and there's bodies all over the place, and there's other people, similar soldiers to in their dress to how you are, but you're just like a slight cut above of all of them. And you see them going through and chasing civilians out of houses and killing innocent people all around you. And you make your way down towards the plaza where that seat of the throne was, where there was the big sculpture of Zafrish there. And as you make your way there, you see this big looming doorway ahead of you, and you feel this incredible urge, this pull for you to go in there. And right about that time, you hear some screaming as some of the soldiers are chasing a family. Well, it's not really even a family, it's a mother, and she's pulling one of her children, which is about 6 years old, a young boy, by its hand, and she's holding onto another baby as they're running. She trips and falls with the baby as the soldiers are chasing her, and the kid keeps running, and he runs right up to you, and you watch as your hand sticks out with a spear and you stab the kid straight in the neck, and you're right back to where you were at.
They were being chased by soldiers and ran towards me. Is that right?
They were running in general. They were running away from the soldiers. So they weren't like running towards you for help. They were running away from people that were similarly dressed as you.
I see.
And
I'm
now
gonna keep that to myself.
yeah, and now you're back. You're there. It's like it was like just a second. It was a flashback of some sort or of some kind, and now you're like, you close your door and you follow everybody else. Okay, so you guys stop and you go to where Nezzy is, and Nezzy is in that antechamber outside of where Ogritz is at, and he does the same thing. If you remember last time, what he did was he went and he pulled on a rope after you guys talked to him, and he waited a couple of minutes, Well, not even a couple minutes. It was a couple of long heartbeats, and you're like, well, what the hell is he going to do? He's not doing anything. He pulled her open, and then so it's the same thing. And then these other servants come out, and they're there, and they're bringing your fruit, your vegetable trays and everything that you had asked for, and what have you. And then Nezzy takes you down the hallway, deeper into the citadel, and to Ogrit's chamber. And he goes, Ogrit is in right now, but I will go in and announce you first. So if you would please wait here. And he goes in through the door, closes it behind you. He's only gone for a very brief amount of time, and then he comes back out and he goes, Ogrit will see you now. And so he holds the door open, and you guys go in. So now you go in, it's the same thing. It's got that big old room with the pillars and the little mountain of the pillows and all this different stuff. But this time, in front of where the pillows are at, there is a big brass tub. And it's on this platform that it looks like it has wheels on it and stuff, and the platform itself seems to be made of marble or something like that, on which the tub sits. And underneath the tub, on these marbles, there is like it's like a charcoal pit for keeping his water warm and stuff like that. And he's in there, and of course he's naked as a jaybird. He's got his beard and his mustache are all wet and hanging down, and he's got his turban on though, and it's kind of cockeyed. And in the tub with him is his two servant girls, and one's like scrubbing his back, and the other one's got like one of his chubby feet up in her hand, and she's got the, what do they call that stone that you rub on your calluses?
Hummus.
Yeah, and she's like taking care of his feet, and so you guys come in, and he looks over. Oh my, yes, Phoenix, Brian, Joplin, Ari, yes.
Is this a bad time?
Oh no, not at all. I mean, a little bit of nudity doesn't offend you, does it? I promise to stay in the tub.
Are the bubbles?
It's kind of it's murky because they're of soap and stuff, but there's not really a bunch of. He's not taking a bubble bath. He's a grown man.
I'm a grown woman.
Oh, and you take bubble baths, do you?
No, I don't.
You do. Don't lie. And you make the big old bubble beards too.
I don't have a bathtub, so try that.
Oh, that's.
I'll make the effort to take the vegetables as no one else wants to approach. Take them over to him, set them on the side of the bath, and be like,
"Oh,
brought you a snack."
Well, how thoughtful. Thank you.
Is he not grabbing one? Is he not reaching for one?
No, he is not.
I'll take a cherry tomato and pop it in my mouth. Like,
yes.
I want to do something unique here, I think.
You think?
Yeah, and this is the first time really that you guys have been in Ogrit's presence that he wasn't like snacking on something.
So my investigation, we agreed, was something about reading the targets individually.
Mm-hmm.
And can I read him to see if I can piece together what his mother would have called him?
Oh, well, you don't know what Ogrit's.
That's why it's a cold read.
Yeah.
I want to take in the room. I want to take in his name, what I know about him. Was he an Ogie? Was he a Gretty?
We definitely need a roll, and you need to get really good.
You gotta burn all the bennies.
So is this basically we're gonna do like what did we agree for your investigation? What were we doing again with that?
This is sort of what it was for. That it was for reading people.
Not a problem. Oh, it is investigation that we were reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So,
all right, yeah, go ahead. Give me a good investigation roll. We'll see what you come up with.
I love that Joplin's skilled in cold.
Oh shit!
Is that good enough? I don't know. Do you feel comfortable with that?
You're pretty sure it was probably something like Ogie.
Okay. So when I see that he doesn't take one, I'm going to grab one of those little ants on a log and go, now, Ogie.
Ants on a log. I'm so happy it's in there. Guys, let's continue.
Okay, so
sounds perfect.
Yeah, you call him Ogie. All right. Hold on a second. I need to make a roll. Well, I'm going to eat them. I mean, I'm in the middle of a bath right now. I mean, yes, well, yes. Oh, fine, pop it in. And you put it in his mouth. So, that's not too bad.
I thought you would like it.
That is actually rather good. Put another one in.
Now we're not even getting anything out of him.
Okay, yes. Oh, so
We buried the lead a little bit here,
Yes.
Ogie.
Ogre,
just saw
ogre.
the-
Yes, yes.
We just saw
only
Azrael
my
in
mother
the
would call me
library.
Ogie.
We just saw a demon in the library. Azael, he was here.
What?
Sorry to disrupt your bath, but I feel like this is big news.
Azael was here inside the Citadel. And he
In
is really
disguise.
serious. Really?
Yeah.
And how do you know this? I mean, obviously, well, did you all see him?
No,
So it was
No.
just Ari then.
Mari.
Well, how'd you know?
We never said it was Ari.
We all shook our heads.
Ari's the only one that's still here in the Arcanus.
You're right.
And she's been here all day studying.
He made himself known to me, yes. He walked in under absolutely a nondescript disguise.
That is. And he shoos away the servant girl that's watching his back, and his little chubby foot goes back into the water. Well, that's quite perplexing. Well, I'm definitely going to have to take this information to the Grandmasters. I mean, yes. He stands up in the tub. It's
No,
Give me a towel, he says to one of the servants' girls, and when the servant
Give
girls
him a
get out,
towel, girl.
she gets out and
Just keep an eye contact.
she gets out and gets a towel. Then she gets some steps, and it's like they're a double prong step with like a loop on it. So they hook it over the tub, and so there's steps out of the tub and then steps down. So she hooks that on, and Ogret, he's kind of like the other girl. She's there helping him walk up with his little chubby bare bottom. And he walks up and walks down, and then she gives him a towel, and he wraps it around him. Yeah.
And then she gives him a towel. So wait,
I mean, it sounds like you got two naked
Reverse.
girls here too. So
Yeah,
like,
there's two naked girls here too.
Well, it's looking.
Brian's all like, doo, 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 doo.
I'm used to it.
It is extremely. So, Ari, what exactly did he want? What did he say exactly?
he
verbatim.
wanted.
Wait a minute.
mean-
Wait a minute. Do you mind if I cast a little magic?
Sure.
Very well. Hold on one moment. He situates his turban a second. He smooths out his mustache and his beard a little bit. And he mumbles a little something, does a little arcane gestures, and he goes, "There, that's something to help you remember specifically what happened. So go ahead, my dear. Tell me what happened."
He came up to me, he asked what I was doing. I told him I was looking for him. He asked me what I knew, what I had come up with, and I told him. I was looking at a map, trying to get bearings of where he might be, and he took the map from me.
A map. He took a map from the Arcanus. So you know where you got the map. You know which map it was specifically. Now, what he's saying is basically it would just be like if you were to go into a library today. And let's say
Right.
you go, it's like, I'm looking for a map on Bulgaria. You go over to
Right.
the section, B1, Bulgaria. So it's like, it's definitely something that could be traced back, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
The map wasn't the Arcanus's.
Well, what was it then? Something
It was
that you owned.
When did
In a
you
manner
get
of
him?
speaking.
And what was this?
From what I could tell, it was a map of where the portals were.
And where did you come across such a thing?
Up on Castra.
Oh.
Did you not tell us?
Yeah, I didn't know about it, man.
You guys found the map.
I found the map.
What?
I don't
Is that
remember
what
who
you're
it
saying?
was who found it.
What? Who found the map?
Wait, so if we had the map, how come we didn't know about it?
Yeah, how did I not know about it? Did you like use some magic on my brain? Or you've been messing with my brain?
I took it. I didn't trust it being in anyone's hands other than my own. And obviously, even my hands weren't good enough.
Yes.
No.
Perhaps
Fairly
you
slippery, I would say.
You should have given it to me, and then I could have passed it on to the Grand Masters. We could have looked at this. Very perplexing. Not good at all. Not good at all. And what else did he tell you? What else was said?
He wants to destroy the portals. He wants to be the only Celestian here.
Interesting. Well,
I believe we could handle that.
that could work out to our benefit then. Possibly.
That's what I was saying.
Yes.
Assuming he wasn't lying to me.
Well, yes. I mean, everything would need to be taken with a grain of salt. What incredibly perplexes me is the fact that someone could waltz. You have to understand, and I apologize to you, gentlemen, but you're a little bit ignorant in the ways of magics. So, which is understandable. It's not something that you do. It's not a slight of any sort. But
I just called you by your mother's name for you, and you don't believe that I have magic.
You did call me Ogie. Please don't do that. It's fond memories, but still, I'm a grown boy, a man now.
A grown boy.
So there's a lot of defenses and enchantments and whatnot that are on the Citadel. It's not something that you have to understand. This place has been steeped in magic for not just. Well, for centuries now. It's been reinforced and recreated, and powerful magic is at work here. And for someone to just be able to waltz their way through all that,
You said it was a
incredibly
hood,
perplexing.
some kind of a hood effect.
It's not strong enough. Whatever defenses you have didn't phase him.
Apparently,
Azael isn't a person, so maybe that's.
he's a Celestine, so they are incredibly powerful individuals, and obviously this shows again just how incredibly powerful these people are, and dangerous, incredibly dangerous. Oof.
It didn't hurt me.
Of course not. He needs you for some reason. Probably your connection to Zephyrus. Yes, I know about that, dear. Well, all right. Well,
You know about that, but you didn't know that Azael was here.
I know, and that's the incredibly perplexing part of things. I mean, interesting. I mean, come on. You're all very smart individuals. You know we keep an eye on you. We've even said as much. It's for your own good and everyone else's, for that matter. I mean, we're not looking to do anything detrimental to you. You know. Yes, I'm going to need to.
Yes. We do have this. We do have a medallion that we found back on the island. It's in my room.
Right, that could maybe that has something to do with all this.
Yeah, was
No.
that?
Guys, no. That was the map.
No, it was a medallion.
No, it was a medallion. It was a.
No, it was the map. Based on my studies, I was able to get a rough estimation of where some of them could be based on this.
I believe I have two questions.
Oh.
I think I have the same two questions.
So all this time, when you've been saying map, you have meant medallion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first one I had too.
Zafrish told me it was not a medallion.
Second question is, when the hell did you take my medallion?
That was my second question too.
Why did you have it in the first place?
I don't know. Somebody handed it to me. That's all.
So why
I
does it
remember.
matter that I had it? And
I would have given it to you if you had asked. The point, I believe, is that you did not ask.
You lit on fire.
Bad manners.
You slept with a big 9-foot god.
I think yours is still worse.
Let's not argue about these things.
Just feel
we'll
like there might be some
sort this
trust
later.
issues here, guys.
Right now,
what
we're
we
here
need
for
to
progress.
do, though, is we need to take a break.
Oh.
We're past our
Cool.
break time.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. So if you need to refresh your beverages, get your snackage on, use the restroom, anything along those lines, please do so. We will take care of our business really quick, and we will be back in just a moment and pick this interesting conversation right back up. Oh, I should probably get ready to go to break if I'm going to say we're going to go to break. That's go ahead, entertain everybody for a second.
So maybe a snack you guys can have is ants on the log.
There you go.
Or
That's
if you're in the Eugene, Oregon
So-
location, you could stop by
Yeah.
your local cookie shop.
Oh, there you go.
We're closed.
But what if I was in Eugene, Oregon? What cookie shop could I go to
During our business hours, you could visit Crumb Together.
right
But
now?
if it's not business hours, you could always visit the website, which is
Crumbtogether.com. Thank you
And
guys.
place an
Just
order.
Crumb together? What a
Crumbtogether.com.
clever name.
All
Don't
right,
go to
so-
Starbucks. People get stabbed there.
There you go. So I've got it ready. And basically, I'm instead of playing the normal in between break recording, I'm going to play the Saltmarsh promo so that people can take a look at that. If you're not watching Ghost of Saltmarsh on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, there you go. That'll be there as well. So we will be right back. Yes, complete shameless plug, and we love every second of it.
Shameless.
We will be right back, everyone. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
grin.
And we're back. Hello, and thank you for waiting, everyone. And all right, let's dive right back into all this good stuff.
Can I stop you real quick? Because my friends in the chat, off to the side.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here it is. He's going to pick up his daughter Zoe, and I've got a great story about me and Zoe.
Go ahead. Yeah.
There was a time when we all went to a baseball game. We went to an Arizona Diamondbacks game together, and we were having a blast. So it was me and my buddy Matt, and his wife, who does not like me at all, and their daughter Zoe, who thinks I'm hilarious. At least back then she did. This is a long time ago.
Okay.
We go to the baseball game. The game comes to an end. And Matt's telling the story ahead of me in the chat. The game ended and the Diamondbacks lost. And Zoe looked at me and went, "Oh, we lost." And I looked back at her and went, "Yep, your fault."
Oh. Wow. What a horrible thing to say.
Oh,
I thought she would still find me hilarious because I sure shit thought that was funny.
well, of course you did.
But yeah, she doesn't stop crying until she gets home, and we're stuck in parking lot traffic for
Oh,
hour and a half.
no.
Oh yeah.
and let me guess, the entire ride she's crying, and you're
The
trying to
whole
cheer her
ride.
up, right?
I'm half laughing, half apologizing to Matt's wife. Just a little bit more because of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, that makes
God.
sense. I love you a little bit more.
It's a great story, though. I mean, at the
Sounds
end of the
like
day,
it.
I end up with such a good story out of it.
Yeah,
It is
and
a
you see,
story.
that's what life gives us. It doesn't give us bad times. It gives us stories that we can relive again and again later. That's really what it is.
Man,
Yeah, probably for the best that he moved out of state, right?
yeah, that wasn't even the only bridge I burned. So yeah,
So,
he's probably
so
right.
it's starting to all come clear now. You didn't move because you had to.
Yeah, he got exiled.
Okay, well, that's smart.
I tell people it's because of the heat, but yeah,
It's just a
Different
different
kind
kind
of
of
heat.
heat.
Different kind of heat. Yeah. I like that.
Excellent. I love it. Okay, so where did we leave off? You guys were finishing up with Ogret. Ari just confessed to stealing the medallion and keeping information from you guys. And yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. I'm going to. Is there anything else that you need to tell me before I have to rush off and see the Grand Masters, obviously. And, yes, and he starts like the two serving girls. They start drying him off, and they're drying his beard and combing it, and then they pull the towel off and they help dress him. And oh yeah.
I don't think there's anything else we need to.
Didn't you guys come here to tell him about the gladiatorial stuff, or?
No, we already talked to him about that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the
that.
one who gave you the inn and all that too. So
This was his idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you'll
don't
be hearing
think about it.
shortly in the circles about a big contest in the arena. We'll get you tickets.
oh yes, I do love the gladiatorial sports. Oh, so barbaric. Yes. Anyway, we'll speak again soon. Yes. And he goes rushing out. His two serving girls like hurrying after him. All right, what are you guys gonna do?
I think we should
Ari,
all.
is there anything else you need to tell us? Because I don't know how I feel about you taking something from us because you don't trust us to have it, and then you losing it because I don't even know how you lost it.
It was on the ground. All of his stuff was burned up.
I'm not even concerned
You-
about that part. I would like to get it back, and I think we should make that some kind of a priority.
We need to find
Right.
Azale again.
How did he take it from you?
Well, you do think if you spent some time doing a little more research that you might be able from memory, and maybe a couple of bennies spent. Speaking of bennies, seeing as how Ari's already wasted all of hers, if you ever want to show support for the show, you can donate.
I know, I'm going to have to
bits.
get my own bits.
And
Oh.
for when you donate bits, every 1,000 bits that we come across, what'll end up happening is that these fine individuals will get persistent bennies, and these bennies are essentially re-rolls. They allow them to re-roll, and they can hold on to them, so forth and so on. So if you ever want to help, that's how you can do it. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I think I know where at least one is. I might be able to recreate more if I have the time.
Yes, you know for a fact that in the Vizen desert.
Right. That was one I know for sure, and that one's easy to remember.
We have a journey ahead of us then.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it's not Brightland, I don't care. Let's go.
Well,
I mean, Azale can get there so much faster than us, can't he?
As far as you know, I mean,
no better than I would.
the guy's got wings for one.
Right. I mean, he flew away from us.
Yeah.
we still have to try, and we'll have to cross that bridge after tomorrow if we can make it past tomorrow. And then we look at Phoenix. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, I've done this before. I mean, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking, but a little bit more money behind us, a little bit more power and fear. We forgot to mention to Ari, this lottery is rigged, so we're not going to be fighting anyone we don't want to fight. So I think I can handle it. I mean, if I get hurt too bad, I might need some assistance from Ari. I don't know if you can sling any sort of magic that can help me from afar. I mean, I know we might get in trouble for it, but worst case scenario, I die.
These fights aren't to the death, I don't think.
I think our efforts are better spent ahead of time. When we know the
They
list,
can be.
we'll work on the list.
Right.
Don't you have the list?
We ain't got the list yet.
Not yet.
Oh, no, didn't they deliver
Yeah,
the list?
yeah.
Yeah, we got the
We
list.
have the list.
Yes.
We have the list of the
Work
top
on
10 fighters, but not the list of who's actually signed up.
Yeah, no. But we just have to compare the two once we
Which would
reconvene
is
with
what,
our friend.
Rob Baca was taking care of all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, being a promoter and whatnot, like he is, he's setting it all up.
Now, I suggest we all get some rest. I know I'm going to need it before everything kicks off. If you need me, you know where to find me.
No, we don't.
Oh, I'll be here.
Oh, we'll be here. Okay. Good.
That's awesome. All right, cool.
He's a wanderer.
Yeah, man.
You're right. I'm not always in the same spot. That's
Yeah.
you have a good.
Okay, so everybody's gonna just because you're not gonna meet again with Rob Baca until the next day.
No.
hmm
Okay, so everybody's gonna go about their business, go back to their rooms and what have you,
That's all I'm going to do. Yeah.
hunker down for the night.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I do have a question, just for future reference, not for this particular evening in game, but is there like a common, like sort of like a mess hall,
Sure.
and would there be? I'll look into it later, but I want to find out if there's an opportunity for me to just play for people from time to time.
You want to go check where the cool kids sit at lunch, basically?
Just want to be able to play some music, like if there's a spot where I can sit to just sort of
Yeah,
post
yeah,
up
yeah.
and play.
The
Okay.
mess hall is generally for the more, how would I say it, the common members of the Arcanus. And
Them as
We
well.
have delivery here, dude.
yeah, you guys,
Ring a bell, and we got a
yeah,
servant.
yeah, you got servants in because essentially there's those in different parts or wings because like where you go to see Ogret, there's another one of those circular great big rooms like antechambers like you guys have where your apartments are off of. Now Ogret's is in a different part of the Citadel, but it's essentially the same thing. There's this great big antechamber with hallways that branch off of it that go to other people's apartments. And every time you go to see Ogret, you go to that antechamber, and that's where the servants are hanging out. And that's where you hooked up with Nezzy, and Nezzy then would take you to see Ogret. Mona was the one of the servants that is in the antechamber by your guys' place, right? Okay. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's going to go and then just basically bed down for the night?
I'd like to try to recreate, for best of my memory, the rest of the map. Because I know the one that's in the West Desert, and you said that if I'd roll good enough, I'll be able to vaguely recall the rest, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Do you think would that be another like research roll, or I don't know, because that's more of devising up. Now this is more of a recollection type of deal. Let's see.
It's like a smarts roll to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a smarts roll.
A smarts roll?
Yes.
Okay. I'm worried. God.
And you feel that you're going to need to actually go back to the library and use some of their the materials they have there to help ignite your memory of where all these other locations are at, so to speak.
Yeah, my head's still all discombobulated. That's what I will say.
Yeah, you do know about the Zev. I see now. I can't even pronounce it. Vezen. Vezin Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where that one's at, but that's the extent of it. So, okay. So everybody goes back to the rooms, goes to bed for the evening.
Is there a practice facility at the Arcanus?
Yeah, there's a number of different ones. What type of practice thing you're looking for?
Well, I have this this ability that I picked up recently that I haven't yet tried out, and that's barrier.
Okay, they have sparring rooms and stuff, and you know whatnot, and not to mention there's a bunch of what am I talking about? Wide open. It's outside areas. I really need to get a thesaurus. This is what happens when you start getting older and you partied way too much when you were in your 30s. Gardens and yes. Of course, now I rely on my computer for all that stuff, but I need physical copies. Well, there's one way over there, but so there's like gardens and plazas and stuff all around that surround, and there's places outside where they have that, and there's like an actual training ground where, like, say, like the guards or the soldiers, so the Arcanus soldiers, so to speak, are in that too. Oh, we just lost somebody.
Tony.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to mess with the overlays or anything. We're just going to be...
sit very still. And
basically what it does is it messes up the...
the ordering.
Yeah, but I'm not going to mess... God dang it did it again.
It's like Brian's okay. Let's rock that.
Yeah, Brian's right where he needs to be. I'm currently Phoenix. Phoenix is currently Joplin, and well, Ari's half Ari. So I'm sure what it was is Tony went, "Oh, that's the wrong X." So I'm not going to mess with the overlays right now, because as soon as he comes back in, they'll all go back to normal. So
He'll push everybody in the right place.
Yes.
Cool.
So while he's figuring out what he's going to do, I'm going to cut to, since everybody else is going to go to bed. Phoenix, that night you lay down, you go to sleep fine. You have no problems. You have a very deep sleep. It's you're out. And then you ever get woken up in the middle of the night? Just like you think you hear something, there was like a bang or something, you wake up with a start. So you do that. You wake up in your bed, and you look around, and it's completely dark in your room, but all of you guys have these balconies that look out over the city and what have you, and the moonlight and starlight is filtering in through these windows, and you look there, and you have like a setup in your like in a number of different places, but like even here in your bedroom, there's like a couch and a couple of chairs and whatnot, like a little ways off from where the foot of your bed is. See, here he's coming. Oh, it looks like I will have to maybe change some things around. Yeah,
I am so sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
My computer just freaked out on me, and I got caught in a loop. And
it happens. It happens. I will have to just do some quick changes, but I'm going to do that after I have this finish what I was talking about. I'm doing one thing with Phoenix right quick, and then we'll go back to what you were doing. So what ends up? So you wake up, and then you look over towards these couches and these chairs, and they're just black silhouettes, and you notice that there's a figure sitting in the couch, looking straight at your bed. And it is outlined by the starlight and the moonlight that's coming in, but you see no features or distinguishing features of any sort. Hello.
You're the same one that I talked to before.
Yes. Have you?
Right, I don't think I got your name.
You may call me Yannette.
Yannette.
Yes, Yannette. So, it's not quite time yet, but I see that you are deciding to undertake something that's very dangerous.
That's right, yeah. It's honor bound, whatnot, part of this Arcanus. No.
Yes, part of the Arcanus. You do know what I spoke with you about before. It appears that it's even more important now than before. You can understand now. There are other beings that are wishing to come and claim our lands. It is all happening again. It's very. It's not good.
I have to ask you a question. I've been warned about you, and I've been told that you want to take over, wipe everyone out, that I'm a vessel.
Yes, you are. You are a special vessel, though. More so than most. But I think that you've probably understood this already. You've come to learn this on your own. I mean, the Arcanus wants you. And we already have you. It's just a matter of how much we have you.
What is it you want me to do?
We want you to kill Azael. And we
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that, yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why? What's in it for you?
We are the Shar. This is our world. Nothing more. You are a descendant. But within you is something very special in the fact that, as well as Shar, you do have the connection to the Weave. Very special. You're a very special child.
Listen, a lot of people don't want me to be talking to you.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm here now, speaking to you while I can. Be careful, my son. You have one more day before our meeting.
Yeah, anything you can do for me today? You know, some sort of shadow magic, give me some sort of charm, keep me from getting decked out, chopped up.
No.
Cool. Thanks for the help.
Not unless, of course, you are willing to make your complete commitment to the Shar.
Yeah, no, I think we should probably have a longer consultation about that. Right now, I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, if you decide to completely give yourselves to us, there are ways that we can bring about the change quicker, if you so desire it.
If I give myself to you, what is that? Like what do you
It's a metamorphosis. You shall become a Shah.
What does that look like? I look like you? Just a pool of
I think
blackness?
you've met one of our kinds. He's a little bit mistaken in his choices. Allow the the game master to look in his notes for that name. The guy's name was Akala.
That fucker.
He's
one of you?
Well, not Rob Aka. Alcala is a
Yeah,
Shah.
no, that's the guy. He didn't like me
No,
because I was one of you.
you are a descendant. He knows this. He is a Shah, but
Oh, that fucker.
he's a Shah who is mistaken. He does not see our point of view. He does not agree that we are the rulers of this world.
Well, when you say rulers, are you guys like keeping slaves? You doing like pushing? Yeah, we have to talk about that.
Some races are designed to be
Okay, well,
slaves.
yeah.
Others are designed to be nothing more than fodder.
You're losing them.
Oh, yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna have to wait for that conversation. Good night. I'm just gonna lay down.
Okay, and actually, when you lay down, you wake back up again. You lay down to go back to sleep, and you wake up, and it was all a dream. You were dreaming, is what it was. She crept into your dream, is what happened. Nothing more.
Me and Akala are gonna have a real long talk, and I go back to sleep.
Okay. All right, so there's that. All right, so the morning happens. You guys all get up, go and get your breakfasts, do what you do. Where are you guys meeting up? What are you doing?
The common area, the cafeteria, I believe.
Yeah, man.
Have breakfast. That's a natural gathering point.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people there.
I'm
Not
gonna.
us, though.
Well, not
I'll
Ari.
see.
Not me.
She doesn't socialize with the plebes. Come on now.
I would. That's where I go.
Yeah.
When I see Joplin, I'm gonna say I'm sorry. I was wrong. I did have a dream.
A dream.
Yeah. You remember you said we had dreams. I had a dream. I didn't think I had a dream, but I guess it was a dream. Anyways,
Well, sometimes we don't remember our dreams.
that's a good point. Anyways, what are we doing? Are we gonna go?
Well, I did. You're just gonna do. I had a dream. Just drop it there. Well, I mean, what was the content of the dream?
What was your dream?
Same shit as always. This whole my vessel for a guy who wants to kill everybody. You know, that kind of dream.
It
Yeah, the
seems
same
you're
kind of
running
dreams we all
theme.
seem to be having. Yeah.
Since you're running theme here.
Yeah.
Because
Brian-
apparently somebody wants you to be a vessel. Then Ari wants to be a vessel.
We got a.
You're
I already
you're a
have a
vessel.
vessel.
Somebody's having dreams or visions of killing kids.
Good one. No one knows that. Anyway,
I know. That
Joplin.
was just God's omnipotent voice.
That's his
talking.
voice, man. And then you're the vessel for Puritan. Is that right?
Yes. Now, let's actually roll back there. So now, before you went to bed, Joplin, you were looking to go and try something
Oh.
out, correct? You were going to go to one.
I
of
had
these-
learned a new trick
Mhm.
that's called barrier, and I want to
test it
be
out.
able. Yeah, I want to test it out so I know what to expect.
Okay, so you're going to go out onto the grounds to do that, onto the practice grounds, or? Now, these practice
yes.
grounds are private. There is a public plaza for the Arcanus, and then there's all kinds of these other gardens. They're walled off. Okay, so they're technically private.
I'm looking for some privacy. I don't particularly want everybody to know I can do things.
Okay, you could go out to the stables, or I mean, at late at night, the different areas there might not be anybody there. I would definitely even say that after the sun's gone down and what have you, that the regular training that's done in the practice grounds is going to be over for the day.
All right, then I want to sneak into one and try to cast a barrier of fire that
Excellent.
burns up out of the earth.
Okay. Yeah.
And then dissipates like a curtain, like a curtain opening.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, so you go out there and you feel the power welling up inside of you, which it's like a heat. You know, you feel like you're getting warm and you're having a hot flash, you know, sort of thing. And that is what would precede you doing any. There you go. Precede doing any of your new magics or newfound abilities. And as that happens, you get to the point where you feel like the release would happen, and whatever's going to happen happens. Nothing happens. You try it again. You feel that welling of the power inside of you again, and you feel the warmth and everything, and like it's ready to where it should be, let go, and it nothing happens again. And then you get this feeling, this sensation that washes over you. It's not in words. It's more in emotions. That someone is disappointed because someone is a champion, but the champion does not follow the ways.
But
Almost as if you're not following the doctrine. Did you pray this morning when the sun came up?
am I supposed to?
Oh, smug.
What do you mean when the sun came up? That's very early.
It is, isn't it?
So early.
And you get this like saddening realization that Puritan is still there. Puritan is still within you, but Puritan is disappointed in your lack of what do they call that? Your
Practice and faith.
Yeah, basically your lack of faith in practicing the beliefs of Puritan.
True commitment, follow through, etc., etc.
Yeah. You've done nothing to follow his ways.
It's like Brian's lectures going off in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, either you can wake up at dawn or you can keep setting yourself on fire. I think that's one of the two options there.
So yeah.
I'm not there though.
Does the Arcanus offer a wake-up service?
Well, of course they do, sir.
I would like to schedule a wake-up for just prior to dawn with the instructions that they should probably bring loud musical instruments with them. Horns, drums.
And if you so basically, like when you go back in now, Mona is on the clock. This is her time. She's the evening shift, right? So you can tell Mona, the servant that is in your guys' antechamber, and she would arrange all of that for you. You know, you also feel that you really don't have a good solid grasp, or do you have a solid grasp? I would think you do, because you've pretended to be a priest of Puritan in the past, correct?
The empty temples of Puritan dot the landscape, and they are prime locations for shows.
I know.
You go in with some lights, fakes with mirrors, and you.
So out of all the players, you're going to get some homework, and your homework will be to come up with 4 essential. I know there's a technical name for this. Tenets, I guess, would be a good way of saying it, of Puritan worship that you will have to perform, whatever those might be. We already know one is praying at dawn.
You son of a bitch.
Perhaps praying at noon when the sun is at its highest as well.
I don't think it does anything.
Yeah.
And then perhaps praying at dusk as it bids the world farewell.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I will leave it up to you. You know what, too? I bet. Oh, and yeah, this is a good thing. As Phoenix, when you wake up from, like you laid back down and then you woke up and you were sleeping the whole time, and at this time when you wake up this time and whatnot, there's a Zastadil bird that flies in and lands on your balcony. It's the one that had visited you before, you think.
Oh, hey.
But the reason I bring that up is you're pretty sure that you could probably train Zastadil birds to wake your ass up.
I'm gonna just for fun, before I went back to sleep, I would have been like, I want you to go and wake up Ari in the morning and just yell, "Good morning, sunshine." Okay, bye.
Okay,
she's gonna love that.
Yeah. So the next morning, everybody's getting ready, and getting up. Ari, you wake up in your bed in your apartment, and you look over, and there on your patio, sitting on the balcony ledge, there is a Zastadil bird, and it's kind of like, and it sees you and goes, morning, sunshine. And then it like bats its wings a little bit, and then it flies off.
Fucking Phoenix.
All right, and for the sense of expediency here, we'll say that you guys all get together. It can be after breakfast. You probably have like a mutual meetup point, maybe the antechamber, to where all your apartments are, and you guys are all together.
Okay.
All right, we have a fight promoter to go and
Yeah.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
I agree. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so
see
you guys
RuPaul.
make it down. You go into the entertainment district, for lack of a better name of it, because I haven't really made out the complete map of Lysena. And you make it to Ralbaka's place. There's that horn on the gate. You guys remember the horn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the servant comes out, opens the door, doesn't really say anything, just lets you in, and then leads you to the front door, leads you back into that antechamber. Gosh, I need to get some new words because I'm using them the same ones all the time now. Chat, there you go. If you can find another word for antechamber, yes. For me.
Foyer?
Foyer, yeah.
Foyer, yeah, there you go. Where you originally had met with Rabaka
Also,
before.
the
And so-
receiving room.
The receiving room. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's some refreshments laid out. There's some like lemonade, what have you, that's there. And so you guys are hanging out, and then in like a breeze of fresh air comes gliding in Rabaka. And he's got a big like one of those Erykah Badu rap head things. It's all yellow and orange, which goes so well with his smooth mahogany, unblemished skin.
A combination of all my favorite people.
He's got robes again, but it's like a robe up on top, and it's baggy yellow pantaloons, and he's got slippers on, and he comes in as a darlings. Oh, I've been waiting to speak with you. Oh yes, please come, sit down. Yes, and he goes around and he actually shakes everybody's hand, and as you guys shake his hand, he's actually going to kiss each one of your hands.
I was gonna say I would do the same. For
Oh,
him.
and that tickles him. He's all like, "Oh yes, ooh.
That's not necessary.
Oh, it's just a greeting. Oh, Brian, honey, there's nothing to be worried about." And then it's, and who is this?
Oh yeah, sorry. Ari, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm
Ari.
Ari.
I am Rabaka. Gives a little bow. the most famous promoter in all of Lysenna. And your compatriot here have hired me. Well, I guess the Arcanist has hired me then. Isn't that correct? On the, how did you put it, the down low? To go ahead and get this fight put together for you. Yes. Oh, darling, you look smashing. Although we really should work on your fashion sense. I know it's practical and it works for you, but I mean, we could do so much more for you.
I don't need more.
Well, I find when you're well dressed, it's easier to command people's attention. Just saying. But anyway,
I don't want attention.
Very well. So, I've got it all worked out. Now it's not quite. Yes. Now it's not quite what I was intending at first, but I think it might also help you out with your brotherhood problem that you were looking to take care of. Correct?
That is the goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. You can come in now, and then out of the same doorway that Rabaka came out of comes Prince Doru. And like 6 Azure Brother guys. Now these are his Azure Brother guys. These aren't the Azure Brother guys that you guys met at the fishing village, or that even went with you when you first went to Castra. These are his really hard-looking motherfuckers.
God damn.
And Prince Doru comes walking in to now. Rabaka has sat down on one of the couches. Okay, and Rabaka comes and he just stands behind that couch. Crosses his arms. He goes, "You're looking for..." See, how did I have his... This is the problem with having so many NPCs. And why I have to go back sometimes and listen to stuff. It's like, how the hell was I having this guy talk? Yeah. You're looking to get taken care of this problem you have with us, the Azure Brotherhood.
Yeah, that was the hope.
We have the solution. Supposedly, none of the problems that have befallen my men or my organization really were from your hands, to say totally. But you have cost us quite a bit of money. And so we feel basically we're going to make you, Phoenix, into a superstar. And then, when the time is right, you will be defeated. When you are, the champion. And all the people love you. And then, of course, we will make all the money off of it. That and the 50 gold that is put up for your purse will be the down payment. And with that 50 gold payment, we will agree to no longer hunt you, provided you go through with this plan. 3 fights.
Yeah.
3 fights. And then, after the 3rd fight, you will face our man. Let me double check his name.
That's what I was about to ask, so I'll buy you some time. What's this guy's name?
Moldak. Now,
Does that name ring a bell?
this is what I'm going to have you guys do: is go ahead and give me that common knowledge rolls. See if anybody rolls well enough that you know pretty much who this Moldak guy is.
Not
Phoenix has no clue. Brian, you know who he is.
God damn.
And Ari and Joplin. It sounds familiar to you, Joplin. In your travels, you think you've heard of somebody by this name, but it's connected to some badass down south. It's not connected to anything up and around the places that you were going. However, Brian knows Moldak is Vindian. He's a Vindian hero. He's been a number of different things. He's a wise man. He's a a champion of the Vindian kings and queens. Now, Vindia is down south. It's like India in that type of regards as far as their types of culture. And but he's a little bit of good and bad. He's not like a knight in shining armor sort of thing. He worships, this is what he's really known for. He worships a god called Teslak. And Moldak is actually a term of, it's a shortened, abbreviated term of the hand of Teslak. Moldak, Teslak. And it's a god of death. But the way they see death is it's more of a personification of part of the great circle of like the circle of life sort of thing. So it's not necessarily like an evil thing, so to speak. You know what I mean? But as the hand of Teslak, he's the guy who is essentially like one of the terms is his hand is the hand that opens the door to the afterlife. He's the one who helps send people there. That sort of thing.
With all due respect, Prince, why don't you just bet your money and take your chances like everyone else?
Because, you fools, you owe me. And I have sworn a blood oath against all of you. Now I can either have you all killed here, and when he says that, Rabaka goes, and he like, I will not kill them here. But you owe me. You owe the Brotherhood. And if you wish to put this feud between us to rest, you will do as I say.
And if we do agree with this, when Phoenix is defeated, he won't die, will he?
Perhaps.
Well, then no.
That
We're
is
not
up
going
to that is up to Moldak. That is not up to me.
Is Moldak here?
Oh, no, he's coming though.
Oh, well, fantastic. Phoenix, they might kill you if we go with this.
No,
I
they
say
might.
very sarcastically.
They might have killed me if we went with it the way we were going to do it before. It was just up to my skill. At least now, they know they have the Arcanist to answer to if one of their star pupils goes missing. It's a little bit of pressure on them at least.
The difference is when you take that fall.
There's no
might
pressure if you step into the arena. And we do thank you for this opportunity. Oh, we do.
And what if I don't take the fall?
Then we're going to kill all of you.
What if Moldak dies accidentally?
That would be very, very bad for you.
There was a legend of a one-punch machine gun gypsy at one point. He accidentally
Not
killed
for
one
such
person.
things. If he wishes you three to stay alive, he'll take the fall.
All right, I'm just saying accidents happen.
Yes,
Accidents happen.
they do. And for your sakes, let's decide that they shouldn't.
Well,
All right. Yeah, I mean, guys, this will be talking. And I'm saying this not so quietly that he can't hear me, but to the group, this is the plan. We've got a little twist to it, but I mean, more or less, this is what was going to happen anyways, right? I mean, wasn't going to take the fall, but I mean, I was going to have a couple fights.
this Moldak, do any of you know who he is?
Just an Indian champion, Indian.
He seems pretty strong. I mean, do you... speaking to... well...
He wasn't on that list either.
Oh. Very nice.
And Brian, you would know this. It's essentially, it's like they're bringing in like some heat as opposed to getting somebody else who's competent. So they're either overestimating or really looking to cover their asses to make sure that they come out on top.
This Moldak you speak of, he's a champion whose legend reaches far. I don't think Phoenix needs to purposely tilt his hand on this.
That's why the three preceding Moldak, they shan't be slouches. These all be well-known men, named men and women from the arena, ones that have followings, ones that will build Phoenix's name into something to be chanted by the crowd, so that he will have the popular support.
I think Phoenix
Moldak
should
is
try
a
his
foreigner
best.
to these lands. Vindians don't normally come here. He will be considered strange, odd, and his worship of Teslak, his goddess of death. Yes, it will ensure that he is the villain in this play that we are arranging.
Well, my point stands that it's quite fearsome, Phoenix. I think even if you did fight at full capacity, you might still lose. That being said, I think they should just go at it, since, he's such a great warrior and all.
You
I'm
don't
not gonna be able to
understand
just
at
take
all,
the
little
flop.
man. How do you think we're going to earn back the money that you've cost us?
Unless you think that Phoenix will actually beat him. Is there any chance Phoenix will win?
Of course not.
Of course not. So I think he should just try his hardest. I think that's all we can really ask for.
Doru looks at Joplin. He goes, "You understand what we're doing, don't you? Speak to your ignorant friend over there.
That's rude.
It's meant to be rude."
Phoenix, remember what we were talking about? Dreams and such, where we make promises and say things. It's one of those times.
Understood. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. And I'll put my hand out to Prince Doru and be like, no blood this time. Give him a little wink. And come on, shake on.
No.
Now go fuck yourself.
You don't understand the opportunity we're giving you. If you
I
do
get
this, and, well, things work out the way that they are, the blood truce. I mean, not the blood truce. What did I call it? The blood feud.
Blood.
It will be over. You will have my word that the Azure Brotherhood will not hunt you. But that doesn't make us friends. And if you ever cross us again, we will kill you then. And he turns and just starts walking out. And his boys all do that little like, what? Walk
Say,
out.
Unless we kill you first. Okay, bye.
And so then after he leaves, Rob Baca turns and goes, "Ooh, my." a little bit, got a little bit of excitement.
Will
there.
Moldak be in on the ruse?
Yes. The reason Moldak's coming, though, is because, well, Moldak, it's the challenge.
Well, if he's looking for a challenge, he won't receive one since Phoenix is being told to take the fall.
Well, you see, the Brotherhood have taken care of that. So.
All right.
But let's put it this way. If we do everything the way we're supposed to, honey, it's going to work out fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. Now, of course, Phoenix, when you fight Moldak, you'll have to make it convincing, but of course, know when to go down. I'm sorry it's coming to this, but I really had no choice. They've kind of came to me once I started making inquiries. Rather quickly, too. It was surprising. It's almost as if they're having you watched. Which...
Almost, yeah.
Yes. Not that that's very surprising at all.
When did they want these contests to occur?
Well, the first one's going to happen in a week. So, a week from today, actually. It's to build up the pomp, the circumstance, it's for people to get, happy and, oh, yay, a big fight. And before then, of course, we're going to parade Phoenix around in his new blue skin and his half Celestine persona. Which I'm glad you're here. We can begin.
So I'm
we're going
act-
to give you a complete makeover.
for the whole time I gotta walk around in this shit.
Well, the dyes that we're going to use on your skin will last for several weeks. We'll probably have to have one more reapply, but then it will go away eventually. Yes, as he starts to
Great.
turn into Ogre a little bit.
Awesome, cool, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Oh, Phoenix, darling, don't worry. I'll make sure that everything is well done as possible. Now, these 3 fights leading up to them are going to be, well, they're not going to be the pushovers that I was hoping they would be. But I think, darling, that you totally have the skills to do it. Yes.
Yeah, I have a plan that might help.
Excellent. And, yes. Now, these bouts are not to the death, but death is not outlawed, if that makes sense.
I know, I've been in a pit fight before. Maybe
Okay.
never in the big time arenas, but I've fought these guys before.
Yes. Well, I'll leave you all to discuss this amongst yourselves for a little bit before I take Phoenix away and start the transformation. And he gets up and he walks over to you, Phoenix, and he rests an arm on your shoulder and goes, "Trust me, I will do as much as I can to ensure that everything goes as well as it can. You have my word." Well, ta-ta. And he exits out of not the way that Prince Doru and the other guys left, but a different exit.
I'm just gonna take are there small cakes around? I assume.
Yeah, there's there's more. It's more like fruit and different things like that.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna take a small piece of fruit, start peeling it, sit down, and just kind of look up at Phoenix and try to see how he. Phoenix, what do you think about this?
Think I might need to pull out all the stops for this one.
You should concentrate on the first 3 fights. Let me think about what to do about Moldoc.
If Moldoc tries to kill you, I'm gonna be there. You know that, right?
I know, but I think we might need something a little cleverer to get me out of that arena once I go down. This guy doesn't sound like the type to just let me lay down and die. Maybe not the best.
What if he was?
It's a 50-50 with Moldoc from what I've heard.
Now, you guys notice on the table, especially you, Brian, after you went down and you picked up a piece of fruit, that there's several promotion flyers on the table. They do have some things set on top of them. They look like they're freshly printed. And one says, it says, "First time in the arena, Moldoc against Zelt." And it's scheduled, and it's got the date on there. And it's for a week from now. So essentially, the same time that Phoenix is going to be having his first fight, it appears that this Moldoc is going to be having a fight as well.
With Mr. Big Mike Tyson guy.
Yeah, with Zelt. Exactly.
Ah.
Great.
We can get a read on him.
I don't want to say this too loudly, but in the same vein that there are Pearden sort of gags, this Teslac, Goddess of Death, it's a dark con. But we might be able, if we could isolate Moldoc, imagine if we could show him Teslac and she tells him what to do in the fight.
I like that idea. How would
I'm sorry, what's the purpose of that?
Ari
Well,
dresses up a Teslac, and you guys pull her in on a little thing with wheels, and she goes, "Ooh,
Dread
you
Pirate
must
Tesla."
fail."
Pirate Tesla?
We convince him with a little bit of a con.
Convince him to what?
to go down in the last
The whole
fight.
point is trying to get the Brotherhood off our back. This is, after all, a way for them to agree to stop hunting us. Isn't that the
Who
point?
would dare mess with the man that dropped Moldak?
A whole army of pirates.
By
A whole
that
fleet
time, he'll
of
be the
ships.
most popular boxer, fighter, celebrity this town has ever seen.
Popularity doesn't stop cannon fire. Because,
It
like you
will.
said, we're going to leave this island at some point. Our journey is going to take us far to the desert. How are we going to cross the seas with our popularity defending us? We must go with this plan.
I'm
The
with Brian
Arcanus
on this
has
one.
boats. They came and rescued us from Castra.
They don't have to sink the ship. They just have to get someone on it to kill us while we're sleeping.
Always looking
I'm
over our
with Brian
shoulder.
on this. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder either.
This
I
is
want to
the
be able
end.
to just do what we need to do.
Let's focus on keeping Phoenix alive and let's wash our hands of this after we're done.
I do like the idea that Joplin has of talking to him and maybe deceiving him, but maybe we just need to convince him that I'm not someone who needs to die. He lets me live. I take the fall. Problem solved. Right?
We can
But-
appeal to his vanity because killing a man isn't necessarily the way to claim his fame. It's killing his story. And unless you're invested in this blue Celestine, half Celestine thing, Phoenix, we can give him that. Let him kill that story that you're about to create.
Now, what if we make him think he's already killed me? Is there a way to do that? You guys know magic. Could we trick him?
That's them.
Make me, boom, disappear? Is there a way to do that? Like he's crushed me and, or I'm a Celestian. Maybe I just disappear, right? I don't know. Well, there's lots of time to plan it, but I think we need to somehow deceive this guy and make him think he's killed me. Because I think if he's going up against the guy who's a top tier, that's not when he's going to pull his punches.
Well, unless, like I said, he's in on the ruse. He understands the con as well, and he'll play along. But if he doesn't, that's what I'm saying. I'll be there.
Well, we'll get a read on it a week from today based on that poster.
A week from today. I'm sorry. Ari, what are your thoughts on this?
Moldak listens to a god and a god alone.
Goddess, actually.
Goddess, sorry.
She's got skulls for earrings.
he will do what he thinks she's telling her in the moment. There's no predicting it.
How do you know that? Where'd I get this extra pen? Anyways.
Joplin.
We can predict it if we can control it. You know, we'll do little hocus pocus.
I think Joplin's got great experience putting on a show, right? That's what you do. So we just need to, you just spend some time over the next week. Think about how we do that.
Yeah. Maybe we don't need him to see her, just hear her.
That might be all it takes.
As long as it keeps Phoenix alive, that's all I want. So.
Worst case scenario, if he tries to kill me, I just kill him instead. I mean, I'm taking a fall. I'm not going to let him beat me to a bloody pulp before I go down. I'm just
That's not going to happen.
go out.
Yeah, there are ways we can get you out of the arena. There are ways I can get you out of the arena.
Good.
That's all
good.
I need to know.
That's all we need.
We've got contingencies for our contingencies, except I didn't use that word. Phoenix didn't use that word.
We have
got
continents
plans
for
for
our
our
continents.
We got backups for our backup. That's all we need to know. All right. Well, let's fight some fucking pirates, I guess.
All right.
Well, you gotta get died.
Right.
And so, like, you guys have been having your conversation and so forth, and then a little while after you guys have, you're winding it up. Rabaka comes in, has like an entourage of like stylists and different stuff with him, and has Phoenix. Are you ready, honey? Let's make you into a demigod.
Sounds delightful.
Excellent. It'll be several hours. I don't know if you would like to wait. I do have a beautiful garden, and perhaps we could make something for you to eat, or I could bring in some entertainers. If you
Well,
like.
if we have some downtime, you know where I'll be going. So, when should we come back, Phoenix? When do you think you'll be done?
Come back
Couple
at
hours.
nightfall.
Nightfall.
Yes, and then you'll get to see this marvelous transformation. Oh, it'll be so delightful. I do believe that you're going to like it, Phoenix. Oh, you're going to look spectacular.
Awesome.
Very well. Come. Let's go. And he takes you away into the back along with his entourage and whatnot. And you hear them jabbering away about, different types of, clothing to put him in, so forth and so on. What to do with his hair, that sort of jazz.
All right. Well, if that's where where he goes, I'm probably just going to head back home and see what the family's up to, and then that's what I'll be doing for the next couple hours.
Okay. And what about the rest of you guys?
I will swing by the apartment and see if I can find my sister.
Okay. Well, at this time of day, she's probably working.
At the bakery still?
Probably. Well, you haven't heard anything else to the contrary, and you've only spoken to her, it was just, a day ago?
Yeah.
So,
All right.
The chances of her getting a job in the circus in that amount of time is probably small. But
No, but I did want to, in that time, we've also been told that we can bring our family to the...
Correct. Yes. But
that was the news I'd like to pass along. If she wants to join me there, she can, or she can continue to have the apartment. And
Right. It's probably best if you were to go to the bakery, but you're more than welcome to stop by your house first.
is it intact?
Okay, so before we get to that part, is Ari going to go along with Brian as well, or?
Maybe eventually. I figure he'll probably go down that way, but I'm going to wander around a bit first.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. Okay, so Joplin, you go and you head to your apartment, right? Now, I'm going to assume that you had 2 keys. You just gave one to your sister,
Right,
and then you
yes.
still had one.
Of course.
Okay. So you go and you open the door, and there's the living room that all looks the same, and so you go wandering in, you start looking around, now your place was 1 bedroom, right?
Yes.
So because it was just you at first.
What do you mean was?
Well, yes, is 1 bedroom.
What did she do?
So you go in, you look around, you don't see anything in the living room, but you hear some noise actually from the bedroom. So you go back there expecting to run into your sister, and you open up the door, and in the bed
Oh no.
is not Jada, but Askham. He's got his shirt off. He's kind of leaning back. He's smoking a cigarette. He's got a book open on his chest. He's like, oh, hello.
What are you doing here?
Reading? he snuffs out the cigarette. Joplin. Yes. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Well, this is awkward. He closes the book, and he's gonna get out of the bed. Then he thinks better of it. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, I was just you see, I'd spent the night, and Jada went to work, and I haven't left.
So I'm not in the wrong apartment. I haven't had a hallucination. Things are as I perceive them to be.
Sure. If how you perceive them is me in this bed, then yeah. Would you see those pants over there on that chair right there? Would you mind throwing those to me? I would feel better if I had on some pants.
I'm gonna grab his pants.
Mm-hmm. And you go over and you grab his pants, and as you grab his pants, you start pulling them up. The blue sash that's sitting there right next to him falls onto the floor.
Is Bearded gonna let me channel a little heat right now?
No, he's not.
Did you pray this morning?
I did get up early at the crack of dawn and prayed for the first time, and
Oh, you did. See, you did.
I have several other tenants.
And when you prayed, you felt as if Pearden smiled upon you.
smile on me now,
Uh-huh.
I shall give him his pants.
Okay. And then he'll pull his pants under the sheet and then put them on and then gets up out of the bed. Well, I guess I should be going then. Sorry.
What a good idea.
Jada said that you lived at the Arcanus now, and as he's talking, he's like gathering his stuff. He's not really. He throws his shirt on, and then all he does is he's just gathering the other stuff. It's so yeah. So nice meeting you again, Joplin. And he starts walking out, and then he stops at the front door.
Oh God!
Turns around and he goes, "I just want to say that you got a good sister. Really, really good sister."
I am so close to pulling my crossbow.
And he winks at you at that point, and then he turns and he hurries out the door.
Son of a bitch. I don't like any of them.
Oh,
Not a one.
but it's almost as if it's an exclamation point at the end of the sentence of why you need to take care of this issue you have with the Brotherhood. Just saying. Yeah.
I don't like him at all.
Well, with that having been said, we will pick back up next Wednesday with Brian and getting ready, and we'll see the new transformed Phoenix. And I'm pretty sure we might even see some fights.
Maybe.
Yeah, it all depends on you guys. We'll see what happens. I mean,
Fast forward 1 week. That's
well, you know, when you're playing the game, it's like, anybody do anything for the rest of the week? No? Cool. All right, so it's the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the day of the match. So,
yeah.
all right. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in and everybody who's watched this episode. We do appreciate it immensely, and thank you very much. If you know anybody who would enjoy said show, let them know. Pass it along. Pass along gosh, see, I can't think worth of shit. The email address or whatever. What do they call that?
That's not it.
The URL. That's it, right? Yeah. Anyway, but yes, and great.
There's probably even a share button, so like and share.
Yes,
Do
there
it
is that. So
with your thumb.
if you enjoyed what you saw as well, and you haven't already, please go down below. There is a link to where you can join us in the Discord, Tales of a Savage Land Discord channel. And there it is right there. Thank you, Mr. Trahan. And basically, you can come and speak with us about everything we do right, everything we do wrong, and everything in between. And if you have any suggestions, because we do listen to everything that anybody says about said things and take it into consideration. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and allow these wonderful people to give us a little exit. So we're going to start with you, Ari. Grace, go ahead.
Well, my name's Grace. I played Ari tonight. She's a little bit discombobulated, which is a very unfamiliar place for her.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know which way is up, which way is down. Hopefully she'll find herself right.
Yeah, she just found out some bad stuff about her boyfriend, you know, and she doesn't know how to feel about that. Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's not good. Brian, Jonathan, go ahead, man.
Hello. Playing Brian, and he's just trying to keep the team together. Not keep the team together, but, just make sure everybody gets along and everybody stays alive. I think that's my job for the time being.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Phoenix, Dylan, go ahead, man.
Hey, Dylan, follow me on all the stuff. It's just my name, Dylan Trahan. It's the way it's written down there. I play Phoenix, and he is blue now.
Yeah. Do you have any new videos up on the Twitter?
No, I've been working. I'm actually doing some videos for my local municipal government. We're doing some videos to promote nightlife in Kincardine, Ontario. The videos are really cool. I'll share them once it's done, but now it has to go through all the local government channels to make sure I get approval on everything. And then, anyways, you'll see those soon, and then I'll start making my own videos again.
There you go. And our local YouTube celebrity, Uncle Tony.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm Uncle Tony or Stupid Tony on Twitter, and you can find me at youtube.com/Uncle Tony because I got my own URL.
Have you hit 500 followers yet? I know you're close.
I'm closing in on it.
Right on the verge last I looked.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, those Good Omens reactions fell off a cliff. As soon as people stopped talking about the show, boom, no more views.
Right. Well, that's the way it happens. You need to find a new controversial show.
Well,
that you can...
spoilers, I should be dropping a Stranger Things tomorrow.
What?
Just because I'm a complete sellout for the subs, man.
Haven't seen anything.
Do it up, man. Lucifer's doing well, though, I noticed.
Lucifer is. It just ended, though, so people are still, like, give me more Lucifer.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's coming back for a final season, so I'll get a nice big push then.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. And don't forget that you sell cookies somewhere.
I do. Crumbtogether.com, supposedly. You can order online if you're in America. Sorry, you Canadians.
No, there you go. Excellent. Yeah. And I, of course, am Will DM. I'm the game master of this great here game that we play every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can find me on the Twitters at Giant Stomp. You can give me a shout out there and say, "What's up?" Also, I am the DM for every Wednesday night, and we played the promo video, which we just had episode 5 of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Aired yesterday. Yeah, already on to episode 5.
That's crazy. I feel like it just started.
And if you're sick of us being nice to people and you want to see some murder hobos kill some people and insult some people, that's the show you should be watching.
Yeah. And I
don't know if they do that.
I paint them a little bit badder than they really are. They're not really that bad.
I'm sure they're great guys.
They are. It's just it's
sometimes you just need to be a murder hobo.
Well, here's the thing. This is okay. I know we're signing off and all that, but here's the thing, and this is very true. And if there's any old, or I shouldn't say old, but long time D&D players that are out there, it's real easy to forget that your new characters aren't your old characters, and your old character's level is not the first level character you're currently playing.
I think the question is, do you give them the opportunity to solve things non-violently?
Oh yeah, the opportunity is there. The opportunity is there. It's just it's like you guys are gonna have to go watch episode 5, and it's towards the end. It's after everything happens and they go back to town and they've run into the law. And I have to say, the sheriff, his name is Andrus, and he's based off of Andy Griffith. Okay, so you can see he's a nice, easygoing kind of guy, right? And you can see how these veteran players respond to a nice, easygoing sheriff.
We'll see.
No fisticuffs happened. I mean, there were threats that were thrown around, but that's about it. So, anyway, again, everyone, I want to say thank you very much for tuning in and watching the show. We have a blast putting this together. We missed not playing last week, and we look forward to seeing all of you again next Wednesday. So have a good evening, and peace out.
Bye.